Live at lunch.
You are looking live.
Live at lunch. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
What the hell's going on out here?
Now, here's Jimmy Ott and Charles Hanagriff.
Yeah, for some reason or another, you sound a little taller on radio.
Is it live? Is it live? Is it live? Is it live? Is it
From Ruffino's on Highland Road, welcome to the Friday edition of Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Hanagriff along with former Tiger Richard Dixon. Max Gotro here with us. Jimmy Ott will be with us later on in the show, starting in hour number 2. It's Log of the Week Friday, presented by Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments. This will be our last 3-hour show of the regular season. Next week for Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, we'll be back on normal time, starting at 11 o'clock, and we'll go from there. Next Friday, huge day here at Ruffino's is our holiday gift card program. Will be starting up next week, the day after Thanksgiving. So looking forward to that. Richard, good morning. How are you?
Doing all right, man. Flag football season is over.
Flag football season's over.
How
do we do, man?
We got beat.
Give me some
last
good
night.
news.
No, we finished third. The Central Bears win it all. They're the Super Bowl champs. Tough one. You know, we went 8-3 this year. All 3 losses to the same dead-gun team.
What's your buyout?
Oh, man. Shoot. I'll take the $15, you know.
Okay. All right, so let's not bury the lead here. The story yesterday broke that Bryce Underwood flipped his commitment from LSU to Michigan. Pretty much the worst fears of every LSU fan. That this top-ranked quarterback that's been committed to LSU since last January took an offer that, depending on who you believe, was somewhere between $10.5 and $14 million. So we'll kind of split the difference. 12 seems to be the most popular number, but who cares? It was 10, more than 12. LSU. It was more than LSU was offering, and it was enough to sway him. So whether it was 11, 12, 13, whatever, doesn't really matter. So let's talk about why. First of all, that he went. You can just say it's the money, and that's it. And maybe that's all it was. Maybe this was just a bidding process from the very beginning, and that was it. That was the only thing that the Underwood camp was ever looking for. I don't think that's quite accurate, but I'd say the money's probably 90% of it. This is just the college football landscape that we live in right now. There are no salary caps. There's no regulations. So he with the most money wins. That's like I said, that's about 95% of what happened here. If you want to get a little deeper than that, why did Bryce Underwood commit to LSU in the first place? My opinion, I don't follow recruiting every day anymore. I'm a happier person because of it. The end of last year, if you watched Jaden Daniels and you're a talent, the level of Bryce Underwood, you looked at Daniels and said, I can do that. A couple of years from now, that could be me. I look at the talent that's around him. He's got 2 first-round picks at receiver. The team, the Heisman Trophy winner before that, had 2 first-round picks at receiver. Even the teams that did nothing but run the ball had 2 outstanding LSU NFL receivers out there. First Heisman Trophy winner had the best offensive line in the country, at least according to the people that give the awards out for such things. Last year's offensive line looked pretty good. 2 first-round picks at tackle. Okay, well, that's pretty good. If it got past the money, and again, 95, 90%, 99%, whatever number, makes you feel better today, of it was about the money. It's about the money. But if you get to the other 1% and you look at it and you say, well, you know what? Where's that massive offensive line that they were supposed to have? I don't see it. Where's the first-round receivers that they always have? I don't see them. Where's the electric running back? You might have one, okay? You might have another one on the way. But where's all of this, the coordinator that was there before? Where's he at? Where's the coordinator that was there for the first Heisman Trophy winner. He's not there. I'm dealing with what's there now. And what's there now is, completely reworked offensive line next year, a receiver room that'll be in flux. Tight end leaving for the draft is probably a second-day pick. The one that they brought in to replace him is still developing. You might have got to all that. I don't know. Probably didn't get past $12 million. $12 million, I'll go play with, 11 clowns from Ringling Brothers. So you probably didn't get past that. But if you did, those are some things to think about. Do I think that Bryce Underwood played LSU from the very beginning? And a lot of people think that. It's like he was in it for the money from the beginning. They're all in it for the money. LSU put a pretty generous offer out there. But if the Underwood camp's plan was to play Michigan against LSU, then the Underwood camp is pretty stupid. And the reason is, if you want to leverage Michigan for money, don't use LSU.
We're not going to get there.
Use a school with some real cash. Use Texas. Use Texas A&M. Hell, if you really want to get them motivated, use Ohio State. I mean, if you really wanted to be the conquering hero and leverage Michigan for the most money that you could, and spur that fan base, light a fire under every booster that's a Michigan man's ass, okay, commit to Ohio State. So I don't believe that, like I said, if he used LSU as leverage, then they're stupid, okay? Because there were way better schools, way richer schools, schools. Generally, Michigan and LSU have no rivalry, okay? There's no connection between the schools. Go commit to Ohio State last January and watch everybody, step two. So I don't think he played LSU from the beginning. I do think that, he was looking for the best, the best offer. Now, so LSU got beat on this kid, and now it's, this is, the sun doesn't come up the next day. Does it mean they're going to get beat out on every kid? It does not. This was a prospect that comes along once every so often. I've made the comparison 100 times. If this kid was playing quarterback in Gonzales, if he was at EA or Santa Mar or Dutchtown, and I use that because where he is about from, Gonzales to Baton Rouge is about from where he is to Ann Arbor. It's about, 20, 30 miles, whatever. LSU would have had a much better chance, and you would have had much more, influence, money come to the table if he'd have been a local kid, because you can't afford to lose those kids. I told my Damian James story last week or whenever it was. So Damian James out of Karen Crow, top player in the state, one of the top players in the country, was going to Michigan. I was there. I watched the whole thing happen. He walked in the door at the recruiting party, said, I'm going to Michigan. Falk and the boys walked in, took him next door, came back. I'm going to LSU. That's what happens, okay? You don't – when you got a local kid that is this highly rated, you do everything possible to keep them. Doesn't always work. LSU ruptured themselves trying to keep Landon Collins, and it didn't work. So it doesn't always work. But you knew that they were going to do this all the way to the end. It doesn't mean it's going to happen on every prospect, and I'm going to get to why that's important in a minute. But you got outbid on this kid, a once in a every so often prospect that is sitting on Michigan's front porch, okay? They couldn't lose him. They just had to do this. If he'd have turned down 12, they'd have come back with 14. If he'd have turned down 14, they'd have come back with 20. The pockets were pretty deep here. And it goes way past Dave Portnoy, by the way, if you're interested in that. It doesn't mean LSU gets beat out on every kid. It doesn't mean they don't have enough money to compete. They didn't have enough money to compete on this kid, okay? New York Yankees have got plenty of money, but they may not be able to afford Juan Soto, okay? They already got Judge and Cole and a whole bunch of other guys that cost a lot of money. They may be able to afford Soto, but maybe they can't. So everybody has a limit to their payroll. And this is LSU's on this particular kid, again, because of the circumstances and the money that he was going to generate. It doesn't mean that you don't have enough money to compete. It doesn't mean that the program is over. It doesn't mean that you can't go out and get other very highly recruited kids. So with that in mind, Brian Kelly's most important, and I don't want to overstate it, but I think the most important 2 weeks of Brian Kelly's LSU tenure are from today until 2 weeks from today, or 2 weeks from yesterday, with the signing date coming in. He's still got a very good class. He's got to hold it together. There is a fan base right now that's ready to jump. There are recruits that are watching everything you do. Everything you do in the next 2 weeks matters a great deal. Tomorrow's game, which could matter absolutely less than nothing, to gain here, all of a sudden matters from a standpoint of perception. Who cares what bowl game gets you into? You're not going to the SEC championship game. You're not going to the playoffs. Tomorrow's just another game, except it's not, because you're going to have a lot of eyeballs on you to see how you react. Do you still have the team? Can you still put that product out on the field? Because if you do all of this and then you lose to Vanderbilt and forget the nice story about Diego Pavia and Clark Lee and the nice season they're having, you lose at home to Vanderbilt, and it's going to be keep the sharp objects away from everything purple and gold on Sunday morning. So it matters. Your demeanor on the sideline matters. Your demeanor in the press conferences matter. Your demeanor in your coach's show matters. What you say to every recruit that you're on the phone with for the next 10 days matters. Matters a great deal. Because, like I said, you got a fan base that's ready to jump. They're looking for some leadership right now. I sat right here at this same bar on 5 for 5 day. Okay? Happened, it's been almost a decade now. And they went 2 for 5 instead of 5 for 5 the day of that fateful all-star game. And everybody was ready to jump ship. I mean, everybody. Turns out they got the 2 kids that they needed, and the 3 kids that they didn't get didn't work out. But nobody knew that day. They showed some leadership. They kept it together, and they did. That's what Brian Kelly's got to do right now. Everything matters. And while we're on that subject, everything matters once the season's over, and everything matters in the offseason. You think you're done putting together practice plans, you recruited everybody on your roster, you've made all your recruiting calls, you're done for the day? You're not done for the day. You're never done for the day. If you finished all of your football duties for the day, if practice is over and you've called all the recruits you got to call and you've updated everything and you're go raise some money, because you don't have enough, and you'll never have enough. No dollar figure is high enough, because this is until there's some regulations. This is not gonna stop. So your last 2 games matter. How you finish matters. How many guys you return matters. How you go in the portal matters. You're at a crossroads. This is one of those. It's not the player himself. It's what the player represents. Is there a panic in the LSU offices? Everybody will know. These 2 weeks are going to define whether Brian Kelly can hold this thing together or if he's just on a downward slope and he can't stop the bleeding. Because the rest of this class that's still there today has got to come home. You lose another 4 to 6 kids, especially the wrong 4 to 6 kids. I don't know that you can. Recover from that. Next 2 weeks are important, even if you don't think a game against Vanderbilt is. We're here at Ruffino's. We'll get the show started now that I got that off my chest. Get Richard's thoughts on it when we come back here. Live at Ruffino's, Log of the Week Friday, presented by Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code MOVE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code MOVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code MOVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hi, this is Blake Hollingsworth with Hollingsworth Richards Ford. This holiday season, I want to let any truck buyer know the deals we've got going on right now. Right now, you can get $6,000 off MSRP on Super Duty, and that's on XL and XLT models. Or you can take home a 2024 F-150 XLT for $11,000 off MSRP. As always, we just want to make it easy. So come in and see us on Florida Boulevard or visit us online at HollingsworthRichardsFord.com.
Water is water, right? Not when it's Evermore. Smooth tasting Evermore water is Mother Nature's masterpiece. Evermore is natural artesian water. Maybe you want a healthier lifestyle, a high-end athlete who wants better hydration, or a parent who wants something healthier for their kids. You want Evermore. EVAMOR. Evermore, available at great local retailers.
I'm here with former Tiger and attorney Chris Perret.
Gordy, one area of the game often overlooked is special teams. Having the best special teams players can often be the difference between victory and defeat. Just like on the football field, you want an attorney who has the special skills and experience to obtain victory. For more than 20 years, I've been fighting for my clients in courtrooms all across Louisiana. Whether you've been injured in an accident or arrested and need to defend your rights, you want a Tiger on your team.
Chris, how can people find you?
Call me, attorney Chris Perret, at the offices of O.C. Brown in Baton Rouge, 343-1111.
343-1111.
I like filing 231-6026.
Harness the Boudreaux boost when storms loom. Boudreaux's Electrical powers your life with top-tier Generac home standby generators. Dial Boudreaux's Electrical for energy that endures, because with us, you're never powerless. Visit BoudreauxElectrical.com.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
Attention business owners. Even if you've already explored the tax programs available to you in 2021 in the wake of Hurricane Ida, are you sure that what you have is accurate and that you've optimized what's available? Many businesses leave money on the table without even realizing it. If you had employees and took a financial hit, you could still be missing out on thousands, even hundreds of thousands in relief. With no upfront cost to you, visit cashida.com. We've helped over 1,000 businesses capture these tax benefits the right way. Time's running out. Visit cashida.com.
Baton Rouge, our home is where our heart is. And at Mid-City Title, we're proud to be your local title company, serving Baton Rouge and beyond with mobile services straight to you. With interest rates dropping, many of our neighbors are making their dream of home ownership a reality. At Mid-City Title, we are here to guide you through every step of the closing process, making it smooth and stress-free. Visit us at midcitytitle.com or stop by our office on Government Street. Midcitytitle.com. Welcome to the neighborhood.
It's Lock of the Week Friday, presented by Tex Morris of Edward Jones Investments. Now, back to Live at Lunch from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Come on out and see us for lunch here at Ruffino's. Hey, it worked the last time. You know, when you went 2 for $5, everybody came out here. We had drinks after the show. Everybody cussed a little bit, got really aggravated, and then life went on. Richard, does life go on?
Yeah, I mean, this is look. You talk about state of the program. You know, LSU. This isn't the year anybody wanted. You know, we're not having the best 4 weeks of football. But when you're talking about programs, Michigan's 5-5 right now. He didn't go to Michigan because they look more promising next year. It's not about who has the most promising, you know, coaching staff, team. The outlook looks better one way or the other. You said 90, 95. This is 100% money. It's not anywhere close.
You're probably right.
7 days ago, he did an interview wearing his big LSU diamond necklace.
Does he have to return that, by the way?
Depends on who paid for it. Maybe he can go change it in, get it melted down, get some good stuff made out of it.
I'd go look at that pawn shop in Detroit that was on
into an M,
the pawn shop that was on TV. Yeah. Not the one in Vegas, the other one. But you'll probably see that pretty soon.
Regardless, I mean, like 7 days ago, he said, "Look at what LSU's done with quarterbacks in the league." And he's talking about Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow. I mean, look, Nussmeier. 6 games into the season, everybody said we're losing him next year. He's a first-round draft pick. He's had a rough last 4 weeks. Things have gotten tougher, but when you're talking about this pure quarterback play, there's not even close LSU over Michigan. This kid 7 days ago was 100% sold. when you start floating out numbers around 10, 12, 14, whatever, I don't care, 10, 11, 12. I said this earlier, and fans might get mad. I would be almost just as upset if we got in a bidding war and paid $14 million, because you pay a kid $14 million, and I've seen a lot of number one quarterbacks not be number one quarterbacks.
Name a couple.
Mitch Mustang, when I came out, one of the biggest guys around. He did nothing. He got beat out. He didn't start at Arkansas, went to USC, played a little bit, got beat out. I mean, and there's other stories like that I can't get off the top of my head, but there's guys – Mitch Mustang probably would have been one of those guys who got 10, 12.
Brock Berlin from here was
so you have those
wooed
guys.
by everybody.
Imagine you pay that kid $14 million, in year one he's average. People are going to start being, what type of valuation did you wasted all of our money? Blah, 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 blah. Like, you can be, that thing can go either way.
Yeah, he could win 2 Heisman trophies. He's a precocious talent. I don't want to sit here and poo-poo on his talent because
I'm not saying that.
Yeah, I want to make sure
I've watched the kid look.
I know what
great.
you're saying. So,
but you can go either way on that.
Yeah,
the fan base can. You can spend that money, and if he doesn't, he's a good player, not a great player. People are going to complain. So.
Right. If he was a good player at the college level, because he's been a great player in high school.
Yeah, but if he gets to the college level, he's good. And look, that's all you want, a good college quarterback. You can do a lot with a good college quarterback, but everybody expects him to be great when you get that money.
Yeah. As far as the budget goes, and I think it's a good point to make. You had a bunch of money tied up in this kid, so what are you going to go do with it? Okay, you're a little bit late in the recruiting grade to jump in on anybody that you're not already in on. So let's go ahead and consider the recruiting class, the guys that you got in. You got to keep them, okay? You're seeing the buzzards are circling, okay? Everybody that was in on an LSU recruit that's high on that board from DJ Pickett on down, they're going to be circling. They're going to be coming in. And they're going to be coming in with their best offer. Now, they were going to do that anyway.
Yeah. All
right. As you get closer to signing day, you're going to do that anyway. But now it becomes a lot more magnified. And that's why I say the next 10 days, 2 weeks for Brian Kelly are crucial. What does this look like? Does it look like you still got a handle on it? For all of Les's faults, okay, after 2 for 5, he kept it together.
Yeah.
He kept the rest of the class together. He made sure Fournette got here. He made sure Jamal Adams got here. And by and large, they were okay. That's what Kelly's got the next 2 weeks. You got to convince everybody that's getting the Godfather offer from somewhere else that, hey, look, all that's changed here is one player left.
Yeah.
That's a hard job. And if you've got some more money that you got to spread around, believe me, those recruits, they know the same thing we know. How much were you offering Underwood? $6 million, $7 million, whatever LSU's last best offer was. Where's that money going? I mean, if you're a top 5 guy in LSU's class besides this, don't you go back and say, hey, man, now that you got that money, loosened up, how about beefing mine up because I got an offer from fill in the blank.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what they're going to deal with for the next 2 weeks.
You take whatever money you had, and you use that in your bank to say, okay, this is extra money we have to save these guys, or whatever's left over. You use that money to go get that transfer portal guy that you didn't want to spend on last year.
Transfer portal, right? The transfer portal becomes your life preserver a little bit as far as whatever you lose that you got to go get.
I will say one thing though that I thought was a little bit promising is. You got on Twitter last night, and a lot of those Harlan Berry, a bunch of them, they came out in full stance. We ain't going anywhere. We didn't commit for one player. They wouldn't even name his name. We didn't commit for that guy. We committed to LSU. So there's a lot of circling around with these top recruits we had. Came back in and said, we're not going anywhere.
That's encouraging.
We didn't come here because of him.
That's encouraging. You'll forgive me if I stayed off of Twitter last night.
Oh, it was interesting.
I chose to watch the game in the snow instead of dealing with what I know was mass hysteria. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for doing that research for the show because I didn't want any part of it yesterday. I've seen it before, so I
didn't listen to the fans. The fans were way worse than the commits. The commits were all pretty rallying around each other. Everything.
So that's important.
That's
important because again, the perception of how much trouble you're in. You've lost 3 games in a row. It hasn't happened very often in the last 25 years. You got Vanderbilt coming in. Truth be known, this might be the worst team that could be coming in right now because if you lose to Vanderbilt at home, which you haven't done, I think, since the 50s or whatever, then it looks pretty bad. Even though Vanderbilt's having a good year by
But it's
Vanderbilt's
Vanderbilt.
standard.
It's the perception of Vanderbilt.
It's the perception of Vanderbilt. It's the perception. You got outbid for the quarterback. Bummer. Okay, sucks. I mean, today sucks.
Yeah.
I get it. You can't get out. You can't. This is the last thing that Kelly can do is take any time to feel sorry for himself, to take time to pout. I'm not worried about staff changes right now. You get to that when you get to that. The next 10 days are about holding your roster together. Anybody that's on the roster now that is thinking about coming back or thinking about leaving, that is, not somebody that you absolutely want to get rid of, you better work on keeping them. Everybody that's in that class, you better everything you can do to keep them. I'm sorry that this is the way it is now, but this is just the way it is, and that includes Garrett Nussmeier. So, the Nussmeier thing, I'm glad we got on the record on this show with it a month ago, 2 months ago, whatever it was, and every time we get asked the same thing. It is in everybody's best interest, in my opinion, and I'm not going to speak for Jimmy, but I'm pretty sure he's going to say the same thing because I've heard him say it. In his best interest to come back if he wants to maximize his draft slot. If he goes pro, is he going to get drafted? Yes. Is he going to get drafted high? Yes. Is he going to get drafted as high as he could get? I don't think so. Is he as ready as he could be for the NFL right now? No. Doesn't mean he won't get drafted high. Doesn't mean there's not plenty of money out there, but your experience level. I mean, he started less than a full season. I think he'd be better off. He decides to take the money. God bless. I understand. It's still a great big amount of money. But I would have said that if Underwood was still coming here. I wrote a column on Monday. I said, best thing is Nussmeier coming back. Best thing for Nussmeier, best thing for Underwood, best thing for LSU. So do you really want to shove a true freshman out there at Clemson, South Carolina next year? I didn't think so. So if you're like, man, they better go get Nussmeier now. I thought they should have done that anyway.
There's a point, and we haven't heard a lot about it, and it's kind of changed with the way that kids are reclassifying. But you know who the quarterback behind Underwood was a year and a half ago?
At his high school?
No, just rankings.
No, I don't.
Colin Hurley.
Okay.
The guy that's on our staff, on our roster right now.
Yeah.
He was the number 2 quarterback in the country before he reclassified.
Right.
So, I mean, if you said 1 or 2, we got the number 2 from that class originally. We haven't seen a lot of them. They haven't put him on the field. They've put other quarterbacks above him. But, when you're talking about pure rankings and we're talking about going and getting the best quarterback, he was the second best quarterback to Bryce Underwood originally.
I'll give him the opportunity to improve between now and next year. Let's just say so far he has not dazzled.
Yeah.
Okay. And look, a lot of freshmen come in and it takes that year of transition and they improve greatly. So let's go ahead and give him an opportunity to do that. But he didn't step on the field and everybody went, "Ooh, wow, look at that guy."
No. And that's what I talk about with recruiting.
Yeah.
You can spend all this money to get the number 2 quarterback.
Yeah.
When he gets here, he's still got to learn it all.
So you got to do something that you're going to have to do this even if Underwood came, but your portal class is pretty important now. I mean, you've got to go fill in with some linemen and some defensive backs and maybe a wide receiver too. And now maybe, a portal quarterback, whether Nussmeier comes back or not, is maybe got to be on the table. I wrote this on Monday as well. If I had one question to ask Kelly right now, the thing that concerns me way more than anything else with the current team is there was room for playing time from young players on the offensive line, in the secondary, and at wide receiver. And very few of those underclassmen took advantage of the opportunity to go earn playing time. Why they didn't develop, because these are some pretty talented kids, some pretty highly rated kids, is concerning. Once you got past the offensive linemen that were recruited and or developed by the previous staff, it thinned out pretty quick.
Yeah.
That's concerning. Your safety play, very concerning with the kids that are sitting on the sideline that couldn't crack that lineup. Concerning.
Yeah.
Wide receiver, you've been on the wide receiver since jump. There was an opportunity to earn playing time there, especially with some of the injuries that they had out there, and some of the young kids just didn't see. I would like to know why.
Yeah.
Because that's probably as concerning as anything. We're brought to you by Louisiana Health and Injury Centers, helping you deal with pain. Are you dealing with pain today? Okay, we talk about physical pain, not emotional pain. You got an accident that you've been in, or an old sports injury that's flaring up, knee problems, shoulder problems, things that, neck problems, back problems, things that are keeping you from moving around as well as you want to, or they're keeping you from getting a good night's sleep. Let them do for you what they've done for my family, which is target those problem areas and get you to feeling better, whether it be the stretching and exercise routines that they can get you into, adjustments, or if you need a dry needle or electric nerve stimulation, cryo or ultrasound therapy, they can take care of you. Airline Highway, Plank Road, Jefferson Highway near Drusilla. Dr. Michael Goff, Louisiana Health and Injury Centers. We'll take a break. Live at lunch from Ruffino's, presented by Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Make LeBear's Baton Rouge your game day headquarters this season. They've got the biggest screens around, and now you can bet and dine at ESPN Bet in person. Plus, sign up today for Cover 5's SEC contest. Go to the Cover 5 app, click on Join a League, and enter the code LABRSEC24. Pick each SEC game that week, play against your friends, and enter to win weekly and season-long prizes. Not a member? Get the Pin Play app today. LeBear's Baton Rouge, your live sports headquarters. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966 for help.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRIEND to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
I'm attorney Gordon McKernan. I want to let you know that we have a local office in Baton Rouge that is able to handle your case with care and attention. After being in an accident, the last thing you want to do is travel. Our local hometown attorneys are here to ensure you receive the highest quality legal service and help get you the compensation you deserve. Reach out to our team of local attorneys to handle your case. Call us at 225-888-8888.
Get going. Hey, get it done. Get going.
Results may vary according to the price of each case. Baton Rouge, LA 22 13 644.
This season, Chevy brings classic pairings, cookies and milk, mistletoe and kisses, and your holiday plans and a new Chevy. Silverado 1500 gives you power and capability with 430 pound-feet of torque to haul your holiday tree. Equinox EV and the all-new Equinox offer award-winning quality and style to see you through the holiday season. See why Chevy makes everything better and brighter. See your Super Chevy dealers today.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge is your new home for the New Orleans Pelicans.
Oh, and blocked from behind by Williamson. Taken by Murphy. Throws it up the floor to Jose. Stop, pop, right corner three. What a sequence that was.
Visit 1045ESPN.com for a complete list of games you'll hear on 104.5 FM, 104.9 FM, and 98.1 HD2.
Hey, dunks it! Oh, my heavens!
The New Orleans Pelicans are on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Own a European car? Dex European has lowered their basic maintenance costs on most European models, starting at $99, and this promo is here to stay. Exceptional care at a more affordable price. Plus, no long waits. Book today, get service tomorrow. Visit VexEuropean.com.
Hey guys, this is Kellen Martin, branch manager at First South Farm Credit in Zachary. When I talk to people about buying land, I always ask, what are your goals with this property? I want to make sure that we set up a loan that fits you and what you're trying to do with your land. If it's a place to build your dream home out in the country, or if it's a place to raise big deer, those are different goals. You want a land lender who understands that and can give you different options based on your goals. If you're looking to buy land or refinance, call me, Kellen Martin, at First South Farm Credit in Zachary, or find us online at firstsouthland.com.
Winter is coming, Baton Rouge. Stay warm and cozy with a new energy-efficient Rheem HVAC system from Capital City Comfort. This November, take advantage of special financing and expert installation on all new units. Visit CapitalCityComfortVR.com today. Your comfort is our priority.
It's presented by Tex Morris of Edward Jones Investments. Now, back to Live at Lunch from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
You can always get the show on demand, newlouisianasports.net and 1045ESPN.com. Handicast up for Monday. We went through the film of the Florida game. Now let's move on from recruiting for a second. I've already done 2 more segments on recruiting than I had planned to do today up until yesterday afternoon, but such as it is. All right, Rich, Diego Pavia. The issue of the running quarterback wasn't there for LSU last week because Lagway was playing on one leg. No. But it's back with a vengeance. And Pavia's, I don't know that he's like any of the running quarterbacks that have given them problems so far. He's not as fast as Marcel Reed. He's not as physical as Jalen Milroe. And I don't think he's as fast as Milroe either. But he's got a set on him that he's not scared of nothing.
No.
And he's a physical runner for somebody that's probably about 5'11" and change and 200 pounds. He'll stick his nose in there like nobody's business. They run this version of the triple option. To me, that's the biggest thing that scares me if I'm LSU tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those guys that's just, he plays with a chip on his shoulder. He's a guy that, always has thought he was better than everybody else thought he was. He doesn't quit. He wants to make a play. He's a guy that's going to give it 110% on every rep and, try to prove everybody wrong. He's a guy that it really concerns me for this game because we haven't seemed to stop anybody with some sort of quarterback run.
Okay, so it's coming. What do you do about it? Because they knew it was coming against Alabama, or should have.
This goes way back to. I mean, this explains the last 3 losses. You go back and watch the film we've done on the Handicast. You can sit here and talk about the positions the coaches put him in, but outside of a couple of the big busts the quarterback runs made, and what I'm really talking about is A&M and Alabama. The players have to execute. The players have to do their job. They cannot overreact. They cannot, try to do too much. When you're playing against these quarterbacks, this is truly a situation where everybody has to do their job. You can't gamble. You can't go try to make a play because you don't trust the next guy to make a play. If you leave your spot, if you leave your zone, if you leave, your technique, it's going to be a big play. And that's where we've had problems is guys not doing their job.
You reckon they figured that out since the last time?
Last time I said we figured it out. We didn't figure it out. So I'm hopeful.
I have a great deal of concern about the safety play because if he breaks the first level, the LSU safety play has been so bad. I haven't seen them take a good angle very often. The 8-yard runs have turned into 18 and 28-yard runs, and sometimes 48-yard runs. I'm very concerned about that.
It's too different. Like Gilbert doesn't take a bad angle. He just can't make a tackle. He bounces off people. He tackles with his arms. He's an arm tackler. And then Sage just sometimes like he expects somebody else to make the play. And then I've never seen him take a great angle. I mean, so either or you either have a missed tackle or a bad angle, but you're right. I mean, safety play has really killed us.
Go back to the other thing, which is containment. And, that's on Jones and Swinson to keep him somewhat bottled up, although this kid don't mind sticking his nose between the tackles and climbing the pocket and running from that, going up the middle. So he'll take a hit. Okay. Yeah. He's not, but you do have to keep him contained.
What makes Whit Weeks great is also could be a detriment in this game. He likes to gamble a little bit to make that play. He likes to see a gap and try to slide in there. And it's one of those games where he's going to have to pick his spots to do that. He has to do it in a key moment on a short yardage deal where you got to get the stop. But when you're playing base football, 1st and 10, you got to play to your technique.
So we'll see if they do that. On the other side, let me see how I can put this delicately. They got to score.
Yeah,
they got to score. The Underwood recruitment is kind of a microcosm of LSU's season. They hadn't committed for almost a year, but in the last 2 weeks they lost him. LSU's offense has been, pretty good right up to the point where they get into the red zone or on the cusp of the red zone, and then they can't score. So I don't know.
I think
it's week 11. You're going to be down probably 2 offensive linemen tomorrow. The freshman offensive linemen have been underwhelming so far.
Fingers are crossed. You know, Dellinger practiced yesterday, from what we were told.
3 weeks off of tightrope surgery.
We saw, what was it? We've seen him come back 3 to 4 weeks before. I'm trying to think of the quarter. Tua
yeah.
came back, but man,
it's possible.
To me,
he could play.
There's obviously other issues on the offense. I mean, everybody wants to say it started in the second half of A&M. I say it started at Arkansas when we could not get in the red zone, kick 5 field goals. But for the most part, when things have gone bad this season, it has been after Dellinger went down. And Will Campbell kind of alluded to, issues we've had online. He goes, I played with Dellinger for 3 years. It became like osmosis. We knew where everybody was going. We didn't have to talk. We could look at each other. It was just fluid. And now you're putting in guys that are having to learn what's going on, and it slows up the guys with the tackles.
Everything you just said aggravates me. Okay, here's why. I get the combination of those two. I get the partnership. I understand the relationship between offensive linemen and blocking schemes and how the familiarity is so huge. But what aggravates me is a left guard goes down and your whole offense goes to crap. No, I'm sorry. I'm not buying. And if that is the case, then you got bigger problems.
No, we had bigger problems before that. We couldn't run the ball.
Right. Okay. So when he was there, they couldn't run the football. But I'm sorry, and this happened down in New Orleans too. Okay. Eric McCoy went down and the whole season went to crap. He's a great player. All right. McCoy's a terrific player. Dellinger is a terrific player. One offensive lineman goes down and the whole thing goes to hell. No, I'm sorry that you got to be a little bit better. Ohio State lost their starting center Tuesday. Okay. Tore his Achilles in a non-contact injury in practice 4 days before their biggest game of the year. You think Ohio State's going to be able to run the ball tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think Indiana's got a good shot tomorrow. But what I'm saying is if one offensive lineman goes down and your entire operation craters, that doesn't speak real well of how you've developed.
It goes back to what you said is, how have they developed over the last few years?
Yeah.
Because when that one guy goes down, and really, like, we're playing with Chester's a young guy. You bring in another guy from his class. A lot of things were kind of hidden with Chester when you had those 2 guards in there and you weren't getting that pressure up the front.
Yeah.
But when you bring in the freshman, and it shows Chester's flaws so much more when those 2 get next to each other. And this is the first time where you've seen the sacks increase. They're getting so much pressure up front, and that's where it is
up the middle.
Yeah. And that's where Nussmeier's really struggled. He's not great on his feet. He has to spin out and get outside. That pressure up the middle, to me, is where Nussmeier's season has kind of gone bad. He cannot function with getting that pressure straight up the middle.
So you're Garrett Nussmeier and you wake up and have your breakfast tomorrow morning, and all that's on your mind is, in any particular order, snapping a 3-game losing streak, 2, potentially 3 liabilities on the offensive line, right up the offensive middle, and whether or not you should take millions of dollars or gamble it against millions more to come back in the draft next year. Is that pretty much
That's exactly
what he's got before he eats his cereal tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
He'll sleep great tonight.
Not much. I mean, come on. Throwing the football against Vanderbilt. This pass defense has been one of the worst in the SEC. You can throw them. Of course, they're almost exactly equal with Florida.
I was about to say,
so
this is what everybody said leading up to Florida.
Yeah, so I'm going to ask you why they couldn't throw the ball better against Florida.
Because they were up in his face straight up the middle all day long. 88 from Florida just abused Mabanga, abused Chester. They were thrown into his lap the whole time. Nuss cannot function with pressure up the middle.
Not a lot of quarterbacks can,
yeah.
Because if you can't climb the pocket, if that's I mean, you're forced to reverse out and try to
if you can't
run for your life and throw on the
everybody,
run, yeah. And that's not that's not his game. I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
I'm
looking for a.
Some of the defensive tackles are terrible, and I feel a little bit better.
I'm looking for a positive silver lining here on a Friday.
We rushed the ball for 160 yards last week.
Okay, well that's something.
Outside look, so we that's what we've been asked for, but the problem was we couldn't do anything in the pass game. You tell me that we get 3 sacks in that game and we rush for 160 yards, we're in a different spot. But I mean, I don't want to talk about him anymore. He just got abused right up the middle.
Yeah.
And it's something that has been glaring since it happened.
Guy at breakfast this morning, right after breakfast, called me and said, well, I guess Kelly can go ahead and call the plays tomorrow since Sloan's not going to be here. And I'm like, man, I don't like to talk about people's jobs like that, because I don't think it's particularly fair, but it's part of the deal. We talk about job security all the time. So yeah, I think Brian Kelly was calling plays last week. I mean, maybe he didn't voice it into the headset himself, but do I think he was influencing plays to the point where we're running this, and this? Yeah, I do. I say that because of the run pass balance that they haven't had all year. Now they snapped the ball 93 times, so that kind of magnifies everything. But I think Brian Kelly had more of an influence on calling plays last week than he has at any other point in his LSU career, and I think that'll continue tomorrow, if not increase. So they're going to try to run the football.
We hear this about the play calling, but if you go back and watch the show we're doing on YouTube, there's a lot of plays called that should work but are not executed, and that's a bad thing as well. I mean, that's coaching, but if you're talking about strictly play calling, there's some good plays that are called that look bad because they weren't executed.
And he can't say that.
Yeah.
He can't go. When I say the perception of everything that happens in the next 10 days is going to be magnified and everything matters, they cannot go out there tomorrow, lay an egg, and have Kelly come to the post-game press conference and say, we got to coach better. Yeah. People are going to lose their mind.
But like you said, what are they supposed to say? These guys can't do what we're telling them to do. They get beat on every
that would be
They're
worse.
Not very good. These guys are terrible. Like, he can't say that in the post-game. So he's in a lose-lose situation. He's just got to get these guys motivated, and they got to do their job.
Wait. I got it. Okay. Let's talk about the uniforms. No, that's not going to work either. That's not going to work either. All right, we're brought to you by Home Bank since 1908. A lot more consistent than the offensive struggles for LSU. Business and personal banking solutions for nearly any need right now. Great CD rates that you can take advantage of. Both long-term and short-term available with low minimum balances so that you can take advantage of these things without investing. Maybe you don't have a lot of money to invest, but you've got some money that you can get a nice return on. Talk to one of the local bankers at any Baton Rouge location, corporate, Sherwood Forest, Longform Village, and Bluebonnet. You can also find Home Bank locations in Acadiana, New Orleans, the North Shore, Natchez, and Houston. Visit home24bank.com for more information. Home Bank, member FDIC. We'll take a break, and we'll be back at the end of hour number 1. Log of the Week Friday here at Ruffino's 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Yo, Jake and T-Bob here. We've been talking about the All-Star Toyota rentals for a while, so during vacation season, we wanted to remind you about them.
That's right. All-Star Toyota has daily, weekly, and monthly rentals with flexible plans and competitive rates that blow the other places out of the water. In fact, you can rent a new Toyota for as little as $60 a day. These rentals are perfect for out-of-town trips, for business, or pleasure.
All-Star Toyota located on Airline at Goodwood. Check out their website at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com/rental. People you know, cars you trust. All-Star Toyota.
Majestic Metals is located in Sorrento with over 60 years experience in the pre-engineered metal building industry. Majestic Metals is the leading metal roofing manufacturer with high-quality products, superior customer service, and a fast turnaround. We offer both commercial and residential roofing, including a standing seam panel in a variety of colors with a 40-year paint warranty. A metal roof can add value to your home and is energy efficient. Call Majestic Metals at 225-675-3800 and talk to our knowledgeable sales staff for all your commercial and residential needs. Visit us on the web at majesticmetalsinc.com.
In Louisiana, it's not if you're going to need a home standby generator. The question is when. Optimized Generator People are Louisiana's largest and best full-service Generac dealership with 4 locations covering all of South Louisiana from Lake Charles to Slidell. And they only do one thing: home standby Generac generators. Prepare now so you can stop worrying about not having emergency power when you need it. It's optimized. GeneratorPeople.com. GeneratorPeople.com.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius. or 2 half geniuses and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Shop Dell Technologies Black Friday event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Black Friday is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
It's our gigantic Red Tag bonus cash sales event at Supreme Chevrolet in Gonzales and Supreme Chevrolet West in Plaquemine, where you can expect more Supreme savings on our incredible selection. And with 0% financing, save even more. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. So this holiday season, together let's drive to Supreme Chevrolet in Gonzales and Supreme Chevrolet West in Plaquemine, or online at SupremeChevy.com or SupremeChevroletWest.com.
Rev Business is connecting companies from the bayou to the river to the lake with the technology, expertise, and uniquely homegrown support that only Rev Business can deliver. From internet and hosted phone to managed Wi-Fi and Metro E, our best-in-class services are tailored to your needs, backed by in-house support and a local team devoted to keeping your business up and running. Visit us at letsrev.biz. Rev Business.
Struggling to lose weight? Feeling overwhelmed by diets and exercise plans that just don't work? There's a better way. Unique Physique offers weight loss injectable medications. Semaglutide, now only $195 a month, and tirzepatide is only $325 a month. The lowest prices in town. No contracts, no gimmicks, just real results without the hassle. Visit uniquephysique.com or call today to schedule a consultation and unlock your weight loss potential. Unique Physique, your weight loss solution.
It's Lock of the Week Friday, presented by Tex Morris of Edward Jones Investments. Now, back to Live at Lunch from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
It's almost impossible to talk about anything else. You know, we were talking during the break about what was the offer? Was it 10.5? Why did it go from 10.5 to 12? If it would have gone any higher than that, was you play in both ends, probably jumped a week too soon. I wait till next Friday, it would have been $16 million, right?
Michigan wasn't going to get outbid on a guy that's 20 minutes, 30 minutes down the road.
Jimmy just walked. He brings up a good point. We've told us about Mal Moore when he went down to Miami to recruit Saban. It's like, unless the guy throws you out of his house, come back with him.
Yeah.
But fill in the blank on the number. If you get him to listen, okay. If it's not a no out of hand because I just don't want to go there, then fill in the blank. And like I said, I don't think it's really about leveraging LSU. It was just about leverage. If they don't want to leverage another school, go leverage one with more money than LSU's got. One of my favorite stories in recruiting, this is from the 1970s, and I wish I could remember the lineman's name, but he went to one of those old Southwest Conference schools that, were just hemorrhaging cash, oil money at the time, and the NCAA was oblivious to most of this stuff. And he said he went to his first school. He says he's in the coach's office and they offer him money. Okay. He says, I knew it was against the rules. He says, I got scared. He says, I thought I was going to get in trouble. He said, so I walked out. He says, I walked out, got my truck, went home. He says, the next visit I went on, I'm in the coach's offices. They started offering me money. He goes, I'm like, man, this is wrong. He says, I got up and I started walking out. He says, they chased me down in the parking lot. He says, they start offering me more money. They are apologizing because the offer was so small. He says, so after that, I told every guy that was getting recruited, park as far away from the office as you can and walk real slow. And so the story's embellished a little bit, obviously, but the point is, hey, man, you want to start a bidding war? You can. And you can do it in broad daylight now. You don't even have to hide it anymore. You didn't park far enough away from the office?
I got gloves, cleats, and a couple rolls of dip. That's about it.
You were cheap. You were cheap. Oh, gosh. What do you think is going to happen tomorrow? I mean, let me ask one other question. Certainly at some point in your career, LSU lost out on a recruit. I'm not even going to bother to look it up. You can tell me. You guys pay attention to any of that when you're playing?
No, I didn't. There might be some, but I remember the only recruit I remember hearing about or people talking about when I was playing was Russell Shepard. I mean, I remember being in the locker room and hearing this name and hearing this, watching it on ESPN and doing interviews. That's the only recruit I remember my entire time at LSU talking about coming to LSU.
Not Perla?
No, Perla was before me.
Okay.
And I didn't know I was going to LSU when Perla. I had watched that, but wasn't in the locker room. But it was probably something similar. When you're talking about a top-ranked quarterback, those guys get mentioned. Other than that, everybody in that locker room thinks they're better than any other high school kid.
Yeah. So this is not likely to be on anybody's mind out there.
No, I mean, look,
tomorrow.
Nussmeier, if he's playing, he's worrying about himself. If he was coming back next year, he assumes he's going to beat him out. So that's not something that they're worried about.
Okay. So you heard it here first. If they stink tomorrow, it's not because of Bryce Underwood.
No, it's just because they've stunk the last 3 weeks.
All right. You're taking the weekend off. This is really, really well.
Live at lunch. 104.5 ESPN, Baton.
Okay. I don't think that was I thought I had a little bit of time. Enjoy your weekend off. We'll see you for the finale against Oklahoma. Yeah. Catch some fish. All right, we'll take a break here at Ruffino's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
ESPN.com, and you could be living stress-free next year. Home.
I thought I had time. I thought I was 55-50.
Technician. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
With Progressive, you get more than savings. You get access to us through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
Oh, I see what you're doing here, Jamie. Giving me all these ways to stay in touch so I have no excuse not to. Well, you're in luck, because this guy's in the market for a new BFF.
Actually, all our customers can contact us this way.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just kidding.
But I am always up for Taco Pizza! Jigsaw!
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Looking for a driving experience that goes beyond the ordinary? At Genesis of Baton Rouge, luxury is more than just a word. It's a promise. From cutting-edge technology to premium craftsmanship, Genesis vehicles are designed for those who demand excellence. At Genesis of Baton Rouge, your journey starts with a personalized buying experience. Let us introduce you to the future of driving. Visit Genesis of Baton Rouge today on Airline across from Woman's Hospital or at genesisofbatonrouge.com.
Get your Butterball Thanksgiving turkey free at Rouse's Markets. Buy a Hormel Cure 81 spiral sliced ham for just $2.99 a pound and get a Butterball Grade A frozen turkey up to 14 pounds for free. That's right. Buy a Hormel Cure 81 spiral sliced ham. Get a free Butterball Grade A frozen turkey for your Thanksgiving dinner. Limit one per customer with $25 in-store purchase. Visit Rouses.com for more details. Rouse's Markets, official supermarket of the Saints.
You feeling a little crabby? Why don't you head into Hooters for the best legs in town? Hooters snow crab legs. They're guaranteed to make you happy. Wild caught, steamed to perfection, and served with a side of butter. Hooters crab legs are nearly as world famous as the wings. And for a limited time, they're just $19.99 per pound. All day, every day. That's right. $19.99 a pound for delicious, tender snow crab legs. So hurry into Hooters to catch this offer while it lasts. Hooters, the best legs in town since 1983.
Please consider making a donation locally through St. Vincent de Paul that truly helps people in need. If you have a boat, car, motorcycle, RV, clothing, housewares, or furniture you no longer use, please consider donating it to St. Vincent de Paul. This donation could get you a tax deduction. Visit svdpbr.org. Okay, let's talk turkey. Not that kind of turkey. Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram can get you in a brand new 2025 Ram 1500 truck with $15,000 off MSRP.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram can get you in the newly designed 2025 Ram 1500 with $15,000 off. All new Bayou Automotive vehicles come with complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty.
Shop BayouCDJR.com or visit us just off I-10 in LaPlace. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you. Second for C9 10,000 $10,000 discount, $4,000 national retail cash, $1,000 APR retail cash.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. It's Lock of the Week Friday, presented by Tex Morris of Edward Jones Investments. Now, back to Live at Lunch from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch here at Ruffino's. Restaurant is now open. You can make it in your plans, come by and have a little lunch with us this afternoon. Yeah, LSU basketball after the show today. They're playing Pitt at the Greenbrier. Tip-off is at 1:30, so we'll be watching a little bit of that. They are a 6.5-point underdog. Pitt has got a top 16, I believe it is. Ken Palm, 15 or 16. So the Tigers are off to a good start. Have an interesting game this afternoon. Jimmy, good. Okay, sorry, you having a little bit of an issue. You want me to tell everybody what is for lunch? A lobster ravioli on your appetizer feature today with the tomato cream sauce, the shishito. Careful the pronouns there, and shrimp.
Get it, Charlie.
Tempura fried shrimp with the blistered peppers and the sweet chili glaze. Crispy flounder with jumbo lump crab meat on the top, steamed asparagus on the side. Asabuco, the veal asabuco with the wine pairing is the Archery Summit Pinot Noir.
I was about to say I would put a Pinot with that. Yeah,
okay. And the dessert feature today is the Tres Leches yellow cake with vanilla icing and cinnamon dust.
3 milk.
Yeah. I knew that one. A little bit of Spanish.
Man, the sky is falling. Charlie, you said we weren't going to get outbid by anybody, Charlie. You said we got.
I don't remember saying that.
Yeah, you did. Until LSU is outbid by somebody, we don't know.
Okay.
LSU.
You got outbid on this kid.
LSU's outbid a lot of people over time. It's just all in the open now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
but you got outbid on this kid this time.
Sometimes you outbid.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. So, I mean, there have been some local products been committed to other places, and last minute they flipped, huh?
Oh, Ryan,
because they just gave him a good pot of jambalaya. Huh?
You brought up Ryan Perilou. I was still hosting the bash back then, and I announced Perilou to LSU, and not at one minute had he ever been committed to LSU. He was committed to Texas the entire time
so this is early
until
for
signing day.
Underwood, huh?
Yeah, he left money on the table. He should have waited till next Friday.
Well,
If
you really want to do it, why wait? Why
go till the Tuesday night before?
No, February.
Oh yeah. You could have drugged.
You remember the running back that went to Tennessee, Bryce Brown?
Bryce Brown,
huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Went to Tennessee.
What did he get?
Oh, whatever. That was the Kiffin year.
Whatever
he was only there 1 year.
You want leverage.
He got that. Then he went to Kansas State to play with his brother.
Eagles for a little bit.
Yeah, he was with the Eagles for a short period of time. Yeah, he was the number one.
Keep in mind, there's no honor. There's no ethics in recruiting.
I didn't bring any of that up.
No,
either.
but LSU's been on the good end of this before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's fun when it's your guy, and it sucks when it's not.
And how many times have we heard? The only thing I wonder if Michigan's having their normal 9-1, 10-0 season right now. Are they desperate enough to do that? To go Malmore to South Florida? I got it. I got an open checkbook, brother. I ain't coming back without you.
I think the fact that this kid was 30 miles from campus was a big deal. If he'd have been from Chicago and they'd have been in the same situation.
Perilou is, he's a local
kid. I used the Gonzalez thing. If this kid was 30 miles away from LSU,
Perillou's in 30 minutes.
No, Perillou's the same thing. It's the same thing. Right.
How about a running back from a Catholic league?
Yes, exactly. They went all out to get Perilou. They had to.
And when were we teetering when Fournette was there? because Saban was kind of kicking our butt, right? No, we
Yeah.
had to make a stand. We had to make a statement, right?
You couldn't lose Leonard. You couldn't
Yeah.
lose Leonard.
They
tried look, Landon Collins was a big time recruit, and they did everything they could, and they lost. And he's from right there, at Dutchtown. So sometimes you do lose those kids, but you got to do everything you can to get them when they're that close.
Running back for that status and then a quarterback is a little different than a safety, though.
It is.
As good as big of a recruit as Collins was.
Well, let me ask you, because you watched this kid play against your son. You saw Elijah Haven play last year. He's
the best I've ever seen as a ninth grader.
Okay,
he's more physically developed. I mean, he's the best I've ever seen.
So 2 years from now, we're going to do this with the quarterback.
The only
from
thing I
Baton
want to
Rouge.
see, he throws with a lot of touch. He's built. I've seen him in basketball. He's just a perfect. He's perfectly constructed. He comes from a sound home. He throws with a lot of touch. He throws with more touch than half the NFL quarterbacks. The only thing I want to do is from one hash to the opposite sideline, that 20-yard, I want to see him step into it on a dime. I haven't seen that. Okay. But
he's what, 15 years old?
Oh yeah, he's really there's no such thing as he's so good, man. He's really
2
good.
years from now, we'll do this all over again, except this time the kid's in LSU's backyard. Okay.
Yeah.
You can't lose him. Whoever takes over for Kelly is going to have to get that kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's a joke, Jimmy. It's a joke. Nobody's in a joking mood today.
I didn't follow you. What were you saying?
I said whoever takes over for Kelly is going to. Oh,
whoever takes over for Kelly,
they get over. It's a joke. It was a joke.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, all right, it's the confidence. It's bam, bam. It's at once. Are they correlated? And I don't think so. I don't think that the LSU not showing up against Alabama and losing to Florida has any impact on this kid as this recruit. But the fan base don't tell them that,
right?
And that's where I mean, what is their hope, man? We still got this kid coming in. Yeah. I mean, he's the number one recruit in the country, and a quarterback can carry a team.
And it's an easier argument to make because Michigan's 5-5 that it's not about results on the field. It's an easier argument. It's all about.
No, I'm asking you. I mean, hypothetical. If they're 10-0, if last year last year's season was his senior year, everything. Underwood was a senior last year.
Right.
Michigan, everything's the same with Michigan,
yeah.
LSU, everything. Are they that desperate? Are they that no? We gotta. I mean, I don't know, man. I think this. I just don't know. I can't say for sure, but there's a chance they might not be. Everything's fine here. What do you need? We're not Ohio State. We need mercenaries and everything else. Michigan people could be proud. But now, what the hell's going on?
Yeah,
they've been 5-5. We're back. Harbaugh's gone. We're back to where we were before him, and even worse.
There's generally not that type of what's the word I'm looking for? It just pressure to buy. For Michigan, they don't usually do this kind of thing. And again, it's because the kid's right there.
USC forever didn't do this kind of thing. Yeah. Did they sweeten the pot for Lincoln Riley?
Yeah.
Did they give him a recruiting budget? He went and got Jordan Addison immediately, and a bunch of others. They hadn't worked out, but they gave him money. Notre Dame. Oh, they were so butthurt about Brian Kelly leaving. What'd they do, Charlie? What we always talk about for years?
Academic admissions.
Oh, they get some kids in now, huh?
Right. And like I said, I still think the proximity is the hammer. If everything else is the same, every single thing else is the same, and Underwood's from Chicago.
Well, we could talk about that, Charlie, some money.
Yeah. Would they have offered this amount of money if he was from Chicago and not from 30 miles from Ann Arbor? Probably not. Okay. I think this was
I don't know.
A face-saving gesture that they couldn't lose this kid from right there in their backyard. If he's from Chicago or even Detroit, okay,
maybe not. Maybe so.
I think that was the.
That's
I think
not
that
far
was
away either.
That was maybe.
Well, it's a Big Ten country.
Chicago's a better example. Okay, if he goes to somewhere else, like I said, if he wanted to turn the pressure up on Michigan for the biggest payday he could get, you want to light a fire under their ass? Come into Ohio State. Let them bid against those guys.
But when I asked you, I said, "Hey, what's LSU's package?" Well, it's not this, and that was a 10.5 reporter. Well, this is this might be a problem.
Right.
I mean, well, if they got to a point where there's not a business owner out there that doesn't have a price. If somebody comes in and offers you $10 million more than what your business is worth, you're done.
Sure.
You're done. Only Charlie would never take the money to leave for another show, to leave me, Max. Only Charlie. Go ahead, Max. Go ahead. Take your swipe.
I'm going to make sure it's guaranteed next time.
All right, Mike Tomlin.
Uh-huh.
It was weird last night, and this is where we go. He's a great leader of men. He does it. He's got it. But, man, he needs a game management assistant. I mean, Charlie, and some of the things are – and look, there were some bad calls last night. How about when the receiver's not touched for Cleveland, Porter punches the ball out because he gets up, and the ball is loose. He gets called for delay of game when the play was live. Then nobody touched him. And so, you had that. It was goofy. The snow, I mean, a real-life snow globe. I mean, they shook it up. I mean, what was that? Was that surreal?
It was.
I love listening to Michaels, too. He was freaking out, man.
What you were watching in the fourth quarter, at some point they went back and showed a play from the first quarter, and it looks like two totally different games. It's like two totally different venues.
We can debate this and that, but there's no defense with the game on the line. You need a first down, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, 3 minutes to go, whatever. I'm going to let Justin Fields throw the ball vertically? No. No freaking way. There's no way to defend that. Hey, look, we're down 11. Man, let's create a spark. Let's just throw him in there. Boom, he busts a run for about 40 yards. We get a spark. It stalls. Boom, put Wilson in. But when you're going to throw the ball, it's going to be a passing play. Wilson has to be in there, and then throw it down. There's no way. You can't. No.
The deception was gone. They had run Fields, and
the change of pace, the deception. Yes, the element of surprise is done.
On a 4th, and I want to say it was 2 earlier in the game, and Cleveland had it so sniffed out. It was like they knew what he was going to do when he came.
You're outsmarting yourself there.
Yeah.
You're outsmarting yourself.
Let Wilson.
And that's not the first time, but he does a lot of these things. Oh, he wins. He's got the hocus pocus. He's a great leader. I mean, he's done enough now. On his way to Hall of Fame.
He's in the Hall of
Fame. He's done enough.
Yes.
He's done enough. When you can get Trubisky and Pickett and get a winning record out of that, that's enough for me. Okay. And I think they've handled everything perfectly with the quarterbacks coming in. It's a nice, you didn't need how about that? Underwood's making more than both the Steeler quarterbacks combined. with the Steelers combined.
With the Steelers are paying.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's just you cannot. No, we're going to throw the ball downfield with Justin Fields. There's no. You can't do it. What a crazy game, man. Halftime, full time was a brutal beat on the Otterlocks last night. Cleveland to have the lead at half. By the way, Cleveland had 3 more turnovers, Max, last night? Was it 4-1 or 3-0?
It was 3-1.
3-1.
You had a fumble from
okay, and they still won in a field position game. That's a field position game, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, they were so much the best. I mean, it's just one little flurry, boom. The touchdown, the fumble, and the touchdown again. Here's Pittsburgh going to go steal the game. Cleveland figuring out a way to lose. But just a while, the Browns at home, man, catching points in that series has been really, really profitable as of late.
Jameis enjoys playing in the snow. Did you see the interview? He's so happy.
But it could have been. I mean, did he throw the guy? Was that your boy Jackson from LSU that intercepted that? The pass he threw that flipped the thing to Cleveland plus 300 all of a sudden from minus 120 or plus 120 to plus 300 to give the Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I don't remember. I thought it was.
Where's Dante Jackson?
Might have been. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was. Just look at interceptions.
Yeah, Dante Jackson.
Yeah. Dante Jackson. There you go, Charlie. Yeah. You see this Underwood thing's got you sideways right now. Come on, you're better than this.
I couldn't see the jerseys with the snow. Plus, I was watching NC State at one point come back at the end and win, so I enjoyed that one.
What's that?
That's NC State coming back. I was watching a little NC State.
No, you get your flowers. You brought up, it was a very good handicap. Very, very good handicap, because that would have been a brutal beat if Georgia Tech would have held on to cover that game. There's no way in the world. I mean, the fluke touchdown to start the thing. I mean, very good handicap. NC State was the right side. They're playing better. They're playing better right now, and good for them. We're live at lunch. Chris Masserano, Bruce Marshall, Troy Macker, our 5-pack. We got Paul Stone. We got a lot of picks. Lock of the week Friday, presented by Tex Morris, Edward Jones Investments, live at lunch from Ruffino's and 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Break.
Live at lunch.
Looking for some time away but don't want to go too far? The Cook Hotel at LSU is just what you've been searching for. Book your getaway today and enjoy a peaceful escape overlooking the University Lake in any of their luxurious guest rooms or suites. Their newly renovated bar is back open for service, and they're located near some of the best restaurants in town. Visit thecookhotel.com or call 225-383-2665 to book your stay today.
Hi, this is Blake Hollingsworth at Hollingsworth Richards Ford. Any families that are looking to upgrade to a bigger SUV this holiday season, right now we're taking $10,000 off MSRP on 2024 Expeditions. That's $10,000 off on 24 Expeditions, and we've got over 50 in stock. So come in and take advantage of these savings. And like always, we really just want to make the car buying experience easy for our customers. So don't wait. Come see us today on Florida Boulevard, or you can check us out online at HollingsworthRichardsFord.com.
Looking for an exciting career? Guarantee Media is hiring. Go to guaranteemedia.com to see open positions and apply today. Guarantee Media is an equal opportunity employer. Guaranteemedia.com.
Custom Colors of Baton Rouge is Baton Rouge's friendliest body and paint shop and is the area's only certified BMW shop. Billy Rapp and Pete McKnight have been serving Baton Rouge since 1987. Conveniently located in Industrialplex off Siegen and Airline. Custom Colors Body and Paint.
The Grove Recovery Center asks you to call to let their family help yours. And know this, each of the members of the Grove's admission team are not only in recovery, they've also made that same phone call. So please know that when you reach out to them, there will be no judgment or ridicule, rather sympathy and understanding. After less than 10 minutes, a program of recovery destined for you begins. That phone call is the beginning of a new life. Let someone that's changed theirs help you change yours with the Grove Recovery Center. 310-2600.
O'Reilly.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
With Progressive, you get more than savings. You get access to us through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
Oh, I see what you're doing here, Jamie. Giving me all these ways to stay in touch so I have no excuse not to. Well, you're in luck, because this guy's in the market for a new BFF.
Actually, all our customers can contact us this way.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just kidding.
But I am always up for Taco Pizza! Jigsaw!
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Total Maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies since 1980. Service today, every day. Nobody likes to go to sleep hot. With a full staff in both Baton Rouge and New Orleans, Total Maintenance is an authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, and Generac and Cummings generators. In Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Total Maintenance, your authorized AC dealer.
Before every game, you're reminded that Tiger Stadium is a pantheon of concrete and steel. When it was time to add upper decks, do you know where that concrete came from? It's Louisiana Concrete Products. Whether it's the next Gulf hurricane or Death Valley earthquake, you can trust Louisiana Concrete Products.
Hi, this is Jake and James of Trash Rangers of Louisiana. If you switch your residential or commercial trash pickup to us, we promise to never sell your trash to the paparazzi. Seriously.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
It's Lock of the Week Friday, presented by Tex Morris of Edward Jones Investments. Now, back to Live at Lunch from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All right, let's go out to San Diego. PP Chris Masserano joining us each and every week at this time. Chris, we're off on Thanksgiving, but first of all, where are you going to be for Thanksgiving? You going back home to the East Coast?
No, actually, I'm coming to you live from the Circa Resort Casino today. So we're actually in Las Vegas this morning.
Okay, all right. So you staying there till Thanksgiving, or I'm
going to be here till Tuesday. I actually brought my dad out, so first time for him at Circa.
Nice.
And we're gonna play a little golf on Monday. We're driving back to San Diego on Tuesday, and we're gonna do we do Thanksgiving at my house since I've moved to San Diego. I've always stayed at my house for San Diego for Thanksgiving dinner. So he's actually been coming out the last couple of years, so it's pretty cool. And then I usually go back east for Christmas.
Gotcha. All right, what's your favorite side? Huh? I mean, no oyster dressing, no shrimp stuffed melatones in San Diego. I'm sure.
I don't even know what that is. We like, we do, in my family growing up, we always had we'd have the turkey and the mashed potatoes and the stuffing, but we'd also have the Italian Thanksgiving as well with lasagna and stuffed shells and sausages, meatballs. So it added to an extra delight of leftovers on Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the extra football game.
Didn't we do this yesterday with Colucci?
I was going to
Charlie?
say he's down the street from Colucci, right?
Yes. It sounds like you're going to Colucci's house for the holidays. So anyway, hey, all right, Big 12. Going to be one team in the playoffs, but three teams control their own destiny, and one of those is Colorado. They've been more of complementary football this year. So not quite as explosive on offense, but way better on defense. Not incredibly great, but you like Colorado -2.5 on the road in Kansas City, not in Lawrence on Saturday.
Yeah. I was on Kansas last week, and I want to say I'm fortunate that I got the win. We all saw that lucky fumbled punt that hit the kid in the face. So I think Kansas, and if you watch that game, they seemed a little bit out of gas. It might be the altitude up in Provo, but I just think it's more of the gauntlet they faced. They were at ASU, then they came back home to play Houston, then they were at Kansas State, then back home to play Iowa State, then at BYU, now coming back home again. And as you mentioned, it's not really home. They got to make an hour drive, each way to play at Arrowhead. I mean, it's not a big deal. The kids are young, but it just seems like they've kind of played a lot of games. They seemed a little out of sorts last week. Lucky to get the win. But if you look at it, their defense has never been their calling card, obviously. But the last three games, they're giving up 6.4 yards a play. That's bottom 25 in the country. And enter the Buffalo's offense. As you said, it's not as explosive, but last 4 weeks, 34 points, 34 points, 41, and 49 last week. Yes, 7 came on a punt return. I just think Colorado's come too far not to make it to this Big 12 championship game. I played it at 2.5 early. I played a little bit more at 3 even money. And I just think, as you mentioned as well, the biggest surprise has been Buffalo's defense, allowing only 4.8 yards per play and only 22.3 points a game. So I think Colorado gets it done. I think Kansas is a little bit out of gas. They've been the darling of a lot of people in the last couple of weeks. I'm going against them. I'm taking Colorado.
All right. One of these teams that are in the college football playoff at this point, again, on the road against a capable team. Penn State's best wins this year, Charlie. A little bit of USC on the road, a little bit of Illinois. They were ranked. They're ranked again. Well, guess what? Minnesota's beaten both of those teams. But you're not taking the points here. You're looking at a low-scoring game in Minneapolis-St. Paul, under the 45, which we're quoting right now from our friends at the Queen Casino DraftKings outlet.
Yeah, this is another type of slog type of game, the old school Big Ten game. Reminds me of the game about a month ago where Penn State played Wisconsin. It was 14-13 headed into the fourth. Penn State pulled away to win 28-13. That's the reason I don't want to be on Minnesota. I feel like they can run out of gas. But both of these teams are very slow to snap the ball. Minnesota, 108 seconds per play. That's 28.1. Penn State, even slower, 118th, 28.8. And the defenses are giving up very little yards per play. Minnesota, only 4.8. Penn State a very, very strong 4.4 yards of play. And another thing, Penn State likes to run the ball almost 60% of the time, 58.3% of the time they're running the ball. So I think this is just going to be try to make no mistakes type of game for Minnesota. Row your boat's going to get the defense fired up. And I can see it being a close game in the fourth quarter, but I'm afraid Penn State will eventually have the athletes to pull away. So I'm going to go with the under. Also, it's going to be 36 degrees, for probably one of the first cold games either team has played this year. That might factor in as well.
All right. Under Penn State in Minnesota. Yeah, but a little chilly weather. Still got the over. Got the over at the original number last night somehow, some way.
We're talking about 45.
Let's not bring that up. Jimmy.
I'm sure you had the under last night, huh?
I had the under at 40 from Sunday night, and we're all sitting there watching the game, and it's like, it's 10-6. Like, what could possibly go wrong? It's a blizzard. How could they possibly go over? Sailed over.
The real life snow globe, and I'm sure at no point, no hedge, no middle, huh?
Well, the thing was, I can't really complain because I did have the Browns first half and game and money line first half and game. So at the end, I was hoping they were going to kick a field goal to win it, and I would push the total. But I was still happy that they won, and there was a lot of Steelers fans around us. So it was kind of like that time I first met you, Jimmy, and it was all these Steelers fans around me, and I was just rooting against them.
I just have my money on the Steelers. I'm not really a Steelers fan when the first time I met you, but you know my saying. I know everybody's personal stance on this thing, but there's never been a bad beat that you couldn't hedge / middle out of. Talking about teams.
I agree.
Talking about teams that were supposed to be this good, but this is a cash cow, an ATM fade this year. Liberty. They got the start quarterback back. They got the running back that was so productive last year. But this is not the same team as they were last year. Man, that line went crazy last week, and they had to go to overtime just to win as 21-point favorites. I don't know what happened with that line hike last week, but now Western Kentucky comes in with a pretty good record. Liberty is 1 at home against the Hilltoppers. Who you like?
Yeah, I'm going with Western Kentucky here. See, listen, the Hilltoppers were having a really solid season. There were 7 wins, 2 losses, and the only 2 losses was Alabama week 1, where they didn't have anything organized yet. They got blown out 63-0. And then they lost a 1-point game in week 5 to Boston College. And me being a BC fan, I watched this game. They totally dominated the game. The quarterback got a little interception happy in the fourth. We actually talked about it at the time, and they blew a 13-point fourth quarter lead. So this team could have easily been 8-1. And they were going into Louisiana Tech last week, and I think they did a little bit of look ahead, going up against Liberty this week, the preseason darling in the Conference USA Conference. So I just think they kind of looked ahead, and Louisiana Tech actually has the top 30 scoring defense. And, they were able to hold on 12-7. Western Kentucky was going down to score at the end, and there was a couple fluky plays. There was a bad pass interference call. And anyways, they just didn't get the job done. But I was reading some quotes from their coach, Tyson Helton. He said, they just didn't perform well. They're ready to bounce back. And I think they're going to bounce back in a big way. This Liberty team, as you mentioned, has been overvalued in the market all year. They had to go to overtime versus UMass, who's, it was just a dismal team. And they only won by 1. As you said, the line was anywhere between 17 and 21. So the eye test tells me Western Kentucky's the better team. If the Beltcamp quarterback could just do a better job of protecting the ball, big if, I really think they'll be able to score points on this Liberty team, whose defense hasn't been much this year. On the flip side, the Western Kentucky defense, if you take out the Bama game, the last 9 games, they've only given up 16.4 points a game, which is pretty good. And there's a 4-way skirmish for the top 2 seeds in the Conference USA standings between Western Kentucky, Jacksonville State, Sam Houston State, and Liberty. So they're all playing each other this week. So we'll see. I think Western Kentucky comes out with the win.
I'm backing you. I mean, I've been fading Liberty all year. 2-7 Liberty against the spread this year. They did cover against Middle Tennessee State a couple of games ago, but one of my favorite mascots, huh? Real live mascots. What is that little blob? I mean, that little red blob that runs around. Gotta love him. All right, Chris, let's get to it. Is it just this simple? Notre Dame's going to do it to Army what they did to Navy. They're playing in New York City. It's not MetLife, but it's Yankee Stadium. But damn it, Navy threw up on themselves. But really, Army's best win is power rated 92. East Carolina. Notre Dame's better than that. Notre Dame 14 over Army.
Yeah, I heard Brad Powers say that all their top schedule guys, the best one was 92 in his power ratings. I mean, Army is a little bit better than Navy. Their defense is a little bit better, but I don't think this Bryson Daly's 100% healthy for Army. And you could see it. They could barely score against North Texas. They had to grind it out. They had to go for fourth down every single time, every single drive. And North Texas is the bottom of the barrel defense. Step in Notre Dame's defense is the top 10. I just don't see Army getting more than 10, maybe 13 points. I mean, and you could say Army has a great defense too, but they play Lehigh, Florida Atlantic, Rice, Temple, Tulsa, UAB, ECU, Air Force, North Texas. It's only missing Kent to have the worst schedule in history. So I just don't see how this team is going to be able to slow down Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame gets up a little bit early. They're going to be able to run the ball and throw it when they need to. And if they get up a couple scores, Army just isn't built to come back. So I'm going to lay the number. I just think Army's kind of a fraud. They have a good coach. Their only hope is to grind it out and snap the ball with 1 second on the play clock. But that infers that they're going to keep getting first downs. I just don't think they're going to be able to do it against Notre Dame's defense.
Well, listen, also the first 5 games, in the last 5 games, Riley Leonard's level of passing is about he's got getting used in real time to supporting cast. But I mean, he was really struggling with his arm, flat out timid to throw the ball. It's now a little bit more proficient. We know he's tough as nails, got a lot of guts, great athlete. But now they're creating a little bit more balance and loosening up that box a little bit for the Irish as well.
Yeah, they're scoring 38 points a game now. I mean, they're averaging 38 points a game. That's pretty solid. Like I said, I don't see Army getting more than 13. So if you get 28-13, that's a cover. I think Notre Dame's going to get more than that.
All right, Chris, and yes, LSU tomorrow night, Tiger Stadium. Vandy comes to town with an improved Vandy team. LSU is 7.5 currently over Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I heard you guys talking the previous segment that, the players probably aren't going to be concerned about the Bryce Underwood situation, but I'm sure one guy's going to be concerned, and that's Brian Kelly. He's going to be distracted. Oh. He has to be on the hottest seat, like one of those gator bait kits that you guys have down there. That's how hot his seat is right now. And I mean, let's just state it clearly. He's lost 3 in a row, $95 million 10-year deal. I'm sure you guys are going to be rabid if one thing goes wrong in the game tomorrow night. And if you look at it, Vandy's coming off a bye. And what's the number one thing that LSU's defense hasn't been able to do is to corral a running quarterback. Milroe got 185 yards rushing on 12 carries. Marcel Reed had 62 on 9. Those guys amounted for 7 touchdowns combined. And I think Pavia is going to be able to run. He averages about 65 yards per game running. He doesn't turn the ball over. And I just think they're a slow, grinded out type of team where they're very slow pace, 29.9 seconds per play, which is comparison to Navy is 30.2, Army 34.2, bottom 5 in the country. And when you're getting points with a running quarterback versus a suspect defense, plus all the other problems LSU's having, give me Vandy plus the point.
Oh, great. All right. So they've lost 2 in a row. Look like crap against Alabama. People at an all-time low confidence as far as Kelly. They lose the number 1 recruit in the country, and now Vandy's going to come in here. When's the last time there were boos in Tiger Stadium?
I hate to heap the misery on you, but they've lost 3 in a row.
I'm sorry, 3 in a row.
3 in a row.
I wasn't sure what team you were talking about.
I lost track.
Yeah. There's a buy in there, but it's 3 in a row. Sorry.
And yes, it's $100 million, 10-year $100 million, not $90 million, Chris. So let's just throw an extra $10 million. Yeah.
What's $10 million here and there these days? I mean, that's what they just paid Underwood.
Yeah. Yes. And look, LSU could have. You ever been in one of those fantasy football drafts where you could drive the price up on your buddy? LSU could have driven it up as much as they wanted. They were not leaving the table without Underwood. So anyway, Chris, you good for Black Friday next week? We're on the air next week.
Yeah, sure,
Okay.
100%. I'll be on, and I'll be
Very
on
good.
tonight on Matt's show at I think it would be 7:45 Central Time. Is that the time zone you guys are in?
Yeah. Well, I wish I could have a pop, man, with Papa Masserano, man. He did a fine job raising his son. So good job, man. I love you, my brother. We'll talk to you next week. Good luck this weekend.
All right, happy Thanksgiving. Talk to you Friday.
All right, Chris Masserano from Las Vegas, and down there. It's nice to take your dad, huh? To
little jaunt.
Did you take your dad to Circa, huh?
I've been with my dad to Vegas a few times.
Lofton Staffing Service. At Lofton, we're in the business of matching hard workers with some of the most sought-after employers in the Baton Rouge area. To Lofton, you're more than just another employee. We care about your interests and can help you match you with the company that needs your skills. You can complete an application, schedule an interview, even browse jobs right from the comfort of your own couch by simply going to lofton.jobs. That's lofton.jobs. We also offer an unlimited $100 referral bonus. At Lofton, we put people to work. Call us today, 924-0200 or lofton.jobs.
Live at Ruffino's Lock of the Week Friday, presented by Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
Hey, Tiger fans, listen up, because there's a new way to snack on the Bayou. Introducing the all-new officially licensed LSU Snacks. Experience the flavor of victory with the LSU Win Bar, inspired by the iconic stadium bar itself. Toasted oats, roasted almonds, and 100% real chocolate, packed with 6 grams of protein. Or grab Win Bites gluten-free crispy chocolate chip mini cookies. Every purchase of LSU Snacks directly supports LSU athletics. Order now at lsusnacks.com.
Respect isn't something that's just given, it's earned. It comes from having experience and possessing knowledge that can be passed on to the next generation. Jim's Firearms.
That was one hell of a game, huh?
Head to 104.5 ESPN's YouTube channel for Whiskey and Wine with Moscona and T-Bob. Coming at you live and rowdy from Don Juan's Cigar Bar all season long, immediately after the game. Sponsored by Gottlieb and Home Fields Apparel.
At Lofton, we're in the business of matching hard workers with some of the most sought-after employers in the Baton Rouge area. To Lofton, you're more than just another employee. We care about your interests, and we can help match you with a company that needs your skills. You can complete an application, schedule an interview, and even browse jobs by simply going to lofton.jobs. That's lofton.jobs. We also offer an unlimited $100 referral bonus. At Lofton, we put people to work. Lofton.jobs.
At Ochsner Health, we know that you are 100% unique, and so is your path to great health. That's why we connect you to expert care that's as distinct as you are. From supporting healthy hearts to healthy kids, our physician and care teams provide access to more than 90 specialties. We're committed to keeping you and our community the best that you can be. Ochsner Health. Long live you.
This season, Chevy brings classic pairings, cookies and milk, mistletoe and kisses, and your holiday plans and a new Chevy. Silverado 1500 gives you power and capability with 430 pound-feet of torque to haul your holiday tree. Equinox EV and the all-new Equinox offer award-winning quality and style to see you through the holiday season. See why Chevy makes everything better and brighter. See your Super Chevy dealers today.
Are you ready for some football?
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Lofton Staffing Services, 924-0200, and lofton.jobs. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. The LSU Alumni Association and the Cook Hotel and Conference Center. For reservations, thecookhotel.com.
Football and Fireball is a match made in heaven. And by heaven, of course, we mean Twin Peaks. Spice things up next game day with a shot of our favorite cinnamon whiskey, Twin Peaks. Visit the Lodge, 6990 Segan Lane. Each drink, scenic views.
Hi, this is Jake and James of Trash Rangers of Louisiana. Have a question, a problem, call us. We answer the phone. 225-363-9053.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
121-1674. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Jimmy, Charlie, and Troy. Three best buddies sitting around talking sports bets. Let's welcome in Troy Macker from Bet Rivers.
Troy, happy Friday, brother. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. It's a bit ugly up here in the mid-Atlantic. We had snow this morning. Now it's rain, so my feet are wet. And I'm just trying to stay dry and get through the weekend.
It's a bit ugly here too, Troy. The sun's out. It's like 60 degrees. Sun
low 60s. Don't
Yeah.
get up to about 66 today.
It's a Chamber of Commerce day, and it's pretty ugly.
Yeah, this is but when we're melting, during July and August. Well, you guys are doing a little bit better.
But there's plenty of melting going on today. Just not out in the heat.
Yeah. Well, Troy, the 80% club. Who we're looking at first in college football?
Yeah, so this is an interesting week because the week before Thanksgiving, you have a lot of non-conference cupcake games.
Yes,
that are going to feature really big spreads. We've seen a real downtick in betting on college football this year, this week. So it's very hard to tell the numbers now compared to where they will be tomorrow. We have almost 25 teams that are backed by at least 80% of the money, and about 15 teams backed by 80% of the tickets, which is a massive number. So there are, about 7 teams backed by both 80% of the money and tickets, and that's what we'll run through here, going off of ranked by percentage.
Troy,
of money.
is there before you get there? Is there any way to kind of get the rent-a-wins, kind of leave those out? Like when, who's Alabama playing this week? No, they actually have a real game. They played Mercer last week, but the Alabama Mercer games, just if to save us a little time and confusion, you just throw those out.
Okay, so we'll eliminate Tennessee minus 40.5 against UTEP and Georgia minus 42 against UMass. Okay,
exactly.
That's easy enough.
Exactly.
So the strongest one is A&M minus 2.5 at Auburn. 95% of the money, 93% of the tickets.
Okay.
The public has been all over UCF games this year. They're on West Virginia plus 3 at home against UCF. 95% of the money, 91% of the tickets. Here's a fade that we've seen a ton is people love betting against Southern Miss. They stink. So South Alabama minus 22.5, 94% of the money, 83% of the tickets.
Okay.
The public is finally coming on and really hammering SMU. It's taken a while, but it looks like the ponies are legit. Minus 9.5 at UCA. It's, again, going to be inclement weather here in the greater Maryland, Virginia area. It's going to be wet and cold and miserable, but 89% of the money, 88% of the tickets. And then Miami minus 24 against Wake Forest, 87% of the money, 86% of the tickets. That's a tough one for me just because Miami is very mercurial. They could win just about every game, but they get down in some games against lesser opponents. So 24 is a pretty big number, even though Wake Forest is not very good.
They could easily have a couple more losses, if not more. Yes.
Right.
Like teams like Duke, Cal, Virginia Tech. Not exactly murders. Decent teams, but like sort of those. Yeah. Well, all right. And who else?
That's it. So we got,
that's it. Okay.
A&M,
Okay.
West Virginia,
Gotcha.
South Alabama, SMU, and Miami.
Okay. On the NFL side, what are we looking at?
So there is about 4 teams that not just in tickets and money of spread plays, but the percentage of strength, but also the volume and the amount. We're basically seeing Kansas City, Detroit, Minnesota, and Houston are in every top 5 category. And it makes sense. They're playing Carolina, Indianapolis, Chicago. The Buccaneers are playing the Giants and Tennessee. So
Charlie,
right now,
Tennessee, the Titans, Charlie.
You guys go right ahead. Y'all should adopt the Titans.
Troy, I'm all about value, okay? I've been on the Titans so much this year. Our strongest NFL handicapper, Randy McKay, was in the Titans last week. We had 3 touchdowns, a result, or wiped out 21 points because of penalties against the Titans last week. So, yes, I'm crying about it, but once again, the result is the same. So, but Randy didn't pick the Titans this week, Charlie. He didn't pick them this week.
There's value, and then there's teams that have covered one time in 2.5 months. There is no value. They just stink. Okay. After a while, you gotta just, I'm sorry. I don't care how many points they're getting.
So I'll tell you that the interesting thing about this week is if we look at spread tickets, there's 6 teams backed by at least 80% of the spread tickets. 5 of them are favored by, I guess now 4 of them, but up until this morning, 5 of them were favored by at least a touchdown, and 4 of them are on the road. And you're talking Tampa Bay is now 5.5 at New York with a new quarterback. Detroit -7 at Indianapolis. Denver -6.5. That was at 7 at Las Vegas. Houston -7.5 at home against Tennessee. Kansas City -11 at Carolina, and then Washington -10.5 versus Dallas. So, all of them basically are in and around a touchdown or more, all backed by at least 81%, and most of those are on the road. And what we do know is it's a week-to-week league, and we haven't seen this strong of plays on basically touchdown favorites and more. So I think this week could very well be a make or break week, that it's going to be bloodshed in one way or the other. I don't think this is going to be a middled week where we talk on Monday and it's like, we won a little bit of money, the price of doing business. I think this is going to be one way or the other in terms of who wins the book or the public in a big way.
Hey, Max, our buddy Hold the Mayo, his way of handicapping has a list where he gets tired of them. I would have to think that the Titans have been on his list way before. Should I just lean more to Mayo handicapping instead of Randy McKay?
Mayo, the old do not play ever.
Yeah, the do not play list. Yes.
Yes. You know what he's got it written on? That's the funny part to me. He's got it written on a Post-it note sponsored by Terminix, the exterminators. Okay, so that's the funny part to me.
I love his pork chop at the Francis, as big as his head. So very good stuff. Troy, who you like this week?
Here's a weird play in college that I actually like, and I'm kind of following the money and the tickets, but I like Army Notre Dame over. I believe it's like 47.5, and I could see this being played, or it might be 45.5. I could see this being played either a blowout, because Army's been struggling a little bit, and Notre Dame has been putting up some points, or, I think it could be 28-27, 28-21, get you over there. So that's one I like. And then on the NFL side, I do like Tampa Bay -5 at New York. I don't have any faith in backup quarterback, Tommy DeVito. And Tampa Bay might be getting Mike Evans back, I think. And that's a smaller line than I would have handicapped that. I would have figured they would have been 6.5 or 7, even though a full touchdown on the road is tricky unless you're a dominant team. Like the Lions are only a touchdown favorite on the road. So I do like Tampa Bay -5, and I like Army Notre Dame over. I believe it's 45.5.
Troy, any thoughts about college basketball? We watched Baylor reel into Johnny's last night, down 18, and they hit a 3 at the horn to win it.
Gosh.
And we got some great games tonight,
good
late tonight.
Good thing I had it parlayed with my free bet with the under in the Pittsburgh-Cleveland game, so I can't cry about it today.
Length of the floor with 4
how
seconds
many
to go.
free throws did they miss?
The last 2 for sure.
So they were both 1-and-1s?
No, there was 2 shots at the end. The one right before.
Well, they missed. No, they had another trip that they.
They did miss some other ones. But I don't remember exactly how many, but they missed those 2 for sure.
Troy, this is kind of our time with this holiday basketball tournament's really good. Give us something. I know you pay close attention.
Gosh, I love this time of year. We already had 2 games tip off already, and the last game of the night features a ranked North Carolina team at Hawaii after midnight. So we get wall-to-wall hoops, and Hawaii's not bad. They're 4-0. UNC should win, but that's a 15.5-point line. I wouldn't be surprised if Hawaii covers there simply because of the travel and they're a decent team. There's some really good games on tonight. Baylor, Tennessee is going to be great. Duke at Arizona, not a neutral court, not a Maui game or Bahamas game, but at the McHale Center, that should be great. I wouldn't be surprised to see Duke win that one. I think I took Duke last year against Arizona. I liked Arizona. I didn't think they were as complete at the time, and they boat raced Duke, so I might save myself here. But just, I've had really good success. Again, I say this all the time. The low majors. That's where you can really beat the book by about 3 or 4 points early in the year if you do some homework, because these lines will be off, in either direction. Either recognizing, I've won twice on Monmouth, who stinks, but they are not as bad as the spreads have indicated. They were like 32.5, 31.5, and they've lost by 24 and 21 points. So that's really where you can win early in the season, is where, a mid-major or a low major versus a high major for any number of reasons, getting guys reps, still haven't gelled. just going through the motions, getting ready for exam week, and the book being off by 3 or 4 points, sometimes as many as 6 points, just because there's not a lot of information out there. Especially with you got a couple new teams, like South Georgia is a new team at the Division I level, and I typically would have just faded them to the moon. They covered in their first 2 games, so that's one to keep an eye out for. So just a lot of really, really good action tonight and this weekend. And if you want a mid-major going forward, they got a tough game tonight. But Hofstra has played very well. Beat Villanova.
Okay.
They've covered a couple of their games. They're playing Houston tonight, minus 27.5 for Houston. That's a stay away from me. But if you're just looking to highlight a low or mid-major, look out for Hofstra. I think they're very good. It was Speedy Claxton as their head coach. Really fun team to watch.
All right. Follow Troy on Twitter at Troy Macker. That's MACHIR, MACHIR. Troy, have a good weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
Sounds good, guys. Thank you.
All right. Don't forget at United Community Bank, the local way to bank big with locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 50 years, including their newest branch at Burbank and Bluebonnet. At United Community Bank, your business is our business. We support the hardworking folks behind local business. From initial startup loans to ongoing planning and assessments, United Community Bank is here for you. Our great team of bankers, Prentice Wilkes, Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, David Henry. Stop on by, discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at lunch, Lock of the Week Friday, presented by Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments from Ruffino's on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Majestic Metals is located in Sorrento with over 60 years experience in the pre-engineered metal building industry. Majestic Metals is the leading metal roofing manufacturer with high-quality products, superior customer service, and a fast turnaround. We offer both commercial and residential roofing, including a standing seam panel in a variety of colors with a 40-year paint warranty. A metal roof can add value to your home and is energy efficient. Call Majestic Metals at 225-675-3800 and talk to our knowledgeable sales staff for all your commercial and residential needs. Visit us on the web at majesticmetalsinc.com.
The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, downtown facing Town Square. At Jolie Pearl, we're pretty shucking good. Louisiana Lanyap on Perkins and Bluebonnet, winner of the most 225's Best of Awards. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Finbom, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee, and Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street and now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Hi, this is Blake Hollingsworth with Hollingsworth Richards Ford. This holiday season, I want to let any truck buyer know the deals we've got going on right now. Right now, you can get $6,000 off MSRP on Super Duty, and that's on XL and XLT models. Or you can take home a 2024 F-150 XLT for $11,000 off MSRP. As always, we just want to make it easy. So come in and see us on Florida Boulevard or visit us online at HollingsworthRichardsFord.com.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
Bow and waterfowl season is open, and Southern Outfitters is your one-stop shop. Fully stocked with decoys, full-service bow repair, and sales. Tree stands, hang-ons, and hunting apparel for the entire family. Visit Southern Outfitters in Zachary and at SouthernOutfittersLA.com.
This is Charles Hanagriff for Supreme Rice. We always ask you to support our Louisiana farmers. Well, Supreme Rice has a long history of working with those Louisiana farmers in developing and maintaining sustainable farming practices. And now their Climate Smart program supports farming practices that reduce methane emissions and support water conservation, positively impacting the longevity of rice farming for future generations. So the next time you shop for rice, make it Supreme Rice. For more information and great recipes, go to supremerice.com and look for the Climate Smart logo on Supreme Rice bags coming soon.
Your Fighting Tigers of LSU return home to host the Vanderbilt Commodores Saturday. It all gets started with Eagle 98.1 Game Day with Charles Hanagriff and Matt Musso at 2 p.m. live from Rouse's on Burbank. And wraps up with Eagle 98.1 Game Day postgame 90 minutes after the end of the game. Presented by Super Chevy, your local Super Chevy dealers. And you can hear it on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and your flagship home for the Tigers. Eagle 98.1.
Please consider making a donation locally through St. Vincent de Paul that truly helps people in need. If you have a boat, car, motorcycle, RV, clothing, housewares, or furniture you no longer use, please consider donating it to St. Vincent de Paul. This donation could get you a tax deduction. Visit svdpbr.org.
Hi, this is Jake and James of Trash Rangers of Louisiana. If you switch your residential or commercial trash pickup to us, we promise to never sell your trash to the paparazzi. Seriously.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
It's Lock of the Week Friday, presented by Tex Morris of Edward Jones Investments. Now, back to Live at Lunch from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
3 games on Friday night. Purdue may be the worst team in the history of the school against Michigan State. San Jose State with the miracle cover last week.
30.
They're catching 7.5 tonight.
San Jose State?
San Jose State against UNLV.
No,
tonight.
they didn't cover last week.
I'm sorry, didn't cover last week against
Boise.
Boise, yeah. Catching 7.5 tonight at home against UNLV. You interested?
I'm on San Jose.
San Jose
You know
State.
that. I love that hot stove.
Yep. 9 o'clock tonight. Michigan State a 2-touchdown choice against Purdue. All right, we're back with Bruce Marshall when we return for hour number 3 here at Ruffino's 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padial at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
With Progressive, you get more than savings. You get access to us through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
Oh, I see what you're doing here, Jamie. Giving me all these ways to stay in touch so I have no excuse not to. Well, you're in luck, because this guy's in the market for a new BFF.
Actually, all our customers can contact us this way.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just kidding.
But I am always up for
Taco Pizza! Jigsaw!
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
Attention, vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
If you're looking for some time away, but you don't want to go too far, the Cook Hotel at LSU is just what you've been searching for. Book your getaway today and enjoy a beautiful escape in any of their luxurious guest rooms or suites overlooking the gorgeous LSU lakes. Whether you're here to shop or stay, the Cook Hotel at LSU is where you can find it all. Stay for the weekend, come by, grab lunch, or shop at their alumni gift shop. Visit thecookhotel.com to book your stay today. That's thecookhotel.com.
If you're a small business owner, you've probably noticed how the big banks like to force you into one-size-fits-all financial service products. At Neighbors Federal Credit Union, we've created a suite of flexible commercial checking accounts designed to fit the specific needs of your local business. And with 9 full-service locations throughout Greater Baton Rouge, we're always just around the corner. We're a local small business looking out for other local small businesses. Learn more about Neighbors commercial checking accounts by visiting neighborsfcu.org. Neighbors Federal Credit Union. We're here for you. Insured by NCUA.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
If you're tired of erosion and mud and want your lawn looking its best, winter is the easiest time to lay grass sod. Let Quality Sod help you select the perfect grass for your lawn. For winter sale prices, call 610-4842 or qualitysod.com.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. It's Lock of the Week Friday, presented by Tex Morris of Edward Jones Investments. Now, back to Live at Lunch from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
And we return here at Ruffino's Live at Lunch. Come on by and see us. Get a little lobster ravioli.
Oh, a little bacon, tomato, and tarragon cream sauce. Charlie, talk about good shishito peppers and shrimp, the tempura fried shrimp. Blister shishito peppers, the sweet chili glaze. Shishito peppers by themselves are kind of a little appetizer on the West Coast. I'm sure Bruce Marshall had them in Palo Alto with his popcorn at the game. We'll get to that game in a second. My goodness. The crispy flounder, Charlie, fresh flounder, fried crispy, jumble up crab meat with creamy polenta, brown butter, steamed asparagus. Suggested wine pairing is a Frank family Chardonnay out of Napa. And the ossobuco, the veal shank ossobuco Milanese, saffron risotto, the gremolata, the wine pairing, suggested wine pairing, and Archery Summit Pinot Noir out of Willamette Valley. Our dessert feature today, tres leches. Brucey, with tres leches. What's that mean, baby?
Hey, I don't know. Hold on a second. Hey, Coach, I'm sorry. I won't get you mad again, okay? Thank you. I was just Brian Kelly was just yelling at me, so I just said to, you know.
Oh, Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly's had a rough couple of weeks. Charlie, I lost count. They've lost 3 in a row, right, Charlie?
3 in a row in 4 weeks.
3 in a row in 4 weeks. Lost the number 1 recruit in the country.
They did.
Yes. And Vandy comes to town tomorrow.
7 o'clock.
A capable Vandy team.
Very capable. Vandy
very
team.
Capable,
Yep.
according to Charlie. Bruce, you're at Palo Alto.
Yes.
Great. You know what? Listen, live betting, okay? Big money line parlay, not closing out, but majorly, but still you can hedge. I got a couple legs in, and I'm watching that thing, and I'm like, I smell a rat here. I got to take plus 600 on Stanford outright. I got to take plus 225 on Stanford here. I'll still have enough if they're going to win. Louisville went out of their way to lose that game. I can't. Everybody I talked to, nobody, it wasn't on their radar here. Nobody, even the most advanced gamblers who are, paying attention to that game slipped through the cracks. You were there. You were there in front of, 4,500 or whatever they had in Palo Alto. I mean, how bad was that Louisville loss with Jeff Brom, to the players, lack of discipline? It was unbelievable.
Well, you're right. There weren't many people there to watch. And, we talked about the crowds. I'd been to the Grove a couple weeks earlier, Philadelphia before that, and Coliseum. So what the crowd looked like, it's Stanford. The women don't wear much makeup there,
You saying the women look better at the Grove than they do outside of
that's the thing. There's a reason they don't have a Real Housewives of Palo Alto show. Okay, so there we go. All right, I'm just kidding. No, that was one of the worst botch jobs I had ever seen in the last half minute, especially by Louisville. And you watching that game, and it looked like, and there weren't many people. Somehow they said 18,000, where that must have been tickets. There were not half that many in the crowd.
Sure.
But
at half that.
But and we had heard Matt Humans had told me this because he's a Purdue guy, and though he said Brom gets his teams ready to play, and he's a pretty good cutting edge offensive coach, but as a game coach, sometimes he leaves much to be desired. And I think I saw some of that late, some questionable use of the clock there, use of timeouts there. But it was the discipline part that really, and there's no way Stanford should have even been close in that game. But you're right, the last sequence there, that fourth down pass, and the way Brom took an extra timeout, which he didn't need to do, and the clock was already stopped. And then the late hit out of bounds that put Stanford for the long field goal try, then the offside, and then the guy barely hit the 52-yarder. It was amazing, and it was a shocker. But you get those once in a while. I mean, Stanford kept fighting, and Louisville kept finding ways to lose. And then apparently Louisville, the plane, they had mechanical problems or crew problems or something. They couldn't take off until the next morning. So the insult to injury, they had to stay an extra night in San Francisco, if you can believe that, at the airport. Now that's the real penalty that Louisville had for last weekend. They couldn't leave till Sunday. So, it was a shocker. It really was.
Charlie, so it's 4th and 10, Louisville, tie game. 4th and 10, Louisville's got the ball at the Stanford 45, 11 seconds to go. What do you do?
It's a 45 with 11 seconds to go, and I don't have any timeouts left.
Oh, no. I think they had timeout. Did they have timeouts, Bruce? I think they did.
He took a timeout. He took a timeout when
before.
He didn't need it.
Right. He took a timeout with the clock stopped. I'm sorry. That was another
I'm
one.
in close territory.
Was that his last timeout?
That was his last timeout. He had one more, so he could have got a 15-yard completion and called timeout.
I'm trying to get in field goal range. Sure.
Oh, well, he throws it 40 yards downfield.
Okay. Didn't complete it, I take
it. Stanford, with 5 seconds ago, throws a little. They were trying to get a little closer. I guess maybe they didn't think their quarterback could reach the end zone from his own 45, but he only gets 1 yard and gets out of bounds with 1 second to go. They late hit him. That puts the ball at the Louisville 39. That's still a 56-yard field goal.
It's a long field goal.
And from you went out of bounds, so left hash. Offsides, Louisville. That makes it up 56-51. Boom. Hello. Thanks for shopping.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's a whole series of bad plays.
Yes, exactly. Give me 15 yards and spike the ball. But don't throw it for the end zone and give them, higher percentage, coach. Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was. And, one other thing, Stanford tied the game with about 45 seconds left on a 4th and 1 from the 25. And Troy Taylor brought in his running quarterback, Lamson, who ended up throwing into the end zone. And that was a dramatic play, and that got Stanford even.
Yes.
And, that was from the 25 with under a minute left. It looked like they were just going to lose the game, well before we got to the end there.
You brought the grandkids?
That's what happened. Yes, he couldn't believe it. He thinks Stanford's good now. It's like,
oh, geez, you've ruined this kid. You get what you get, but could you bring it to a more conventional game? This was. I hope the kid has enough sense to realize this is not normal. How you manage a game, huh?
I'm worried that I've changed. I've kind of distorted his perception.
and listen, we pick on the runs, but my favorite Ole Miss line ever, okay, because they've had to do things because they don't do it on the field, was, hey, ain't never been a party we lost. It's kind of, but the other one is, what do we call Miss America in Oxford? An 8. So, yes, you're going to have a little bit better scenery in Oxford than Palo Alto. Brucey, give me your top 3 picks in college football this week.
Well, I'm going to stick in the SEC tomorrow, and I got a couple of off-track games we'll get to at the end, I hope. But let's look at a few of these tomorrow. I think Kentucky is going to hang around against Texas tomorrow, and that was not an easy go for Texas at Arkansas last week. It's odd. Quinn Ewers is not all that. They love Arch so much down there in Austin. They clamor for him. Ewers is kind of the most underappreciated top quarterback I can remember. But Kentucky, interesting here. Last week, Mark Stoops, who, by the way, they're talking about him retiring there, but he's denying it. We'll see what goes. John Summerall's on the speed dial up there, we know. But they put the freshman quarterback, Cutter Boley, in there last week. There's only Murray State. They really like this kid. They have saved his redshirt year, so he's already going to be beneath the threshold. So he won't lose a year of eligibility. But he came off the bench last week, threw a couple TDs, he is tall, he can move some, good arm. Now, it was only one game. Murray State ain't Texas, but they're going to use, Stoops will use him tomorrow, along with Vandergriff, who's been kind of banged up. But let's remember, Kentucky went into Vaught Hemingway and won. They took Georgia down to the last minute in a 1-point loss. They're not as bad as 4-6 would suggest. And only that the Florida game, it really unraveled for them. A bunch of mistakes, but they're a hard-nosed team. I'm not sure. And Texas might be running out of steam a little bit here, and they got the A&M game next week. I'm going to take Kentucky in that game tomorrow. I am also going to give a look to Mississippi State. Just a gut call here that now I know that Arkansas game 4 weeks ago, that is really the only egg that they've laid, no pun intended with the Egg Bowl next week, but that's the only really bad effort they've had in the last month and a half. And the thought from a lot of people down there is they're going to get somebody before the season is over. Probably not next week in the Egg Bowl, but maybe this is the one with Mizzou. Listen, they've covered point spreads against Tennessee, Georgia, A&M, and Texas here in the last month. Plus, Van Buren has given them a little bit more quarterback than Chapin was giving. They like him a lot moving forward. And Mizzou, you're talking about a team, you talk about maybe deflated a bit. Now they are out of the playoff conversation completely now. Now they're thinking, maybe this is just going to be the Liberty Bowl or the Music City Bowl. That's all we're going to get out of this season off a brutal loss at South Carolina. This is not much of a margin team on the road. I'm going to give the Bulldogs are catching a little bit, 7.5 or so. I think I'll
8
I'll
plus
do
8
that
right
one.
now locally here at our shop.
8.
Yeah.
There you go. And one more. I'm going to give A&M a look tomorrow. Hugh Freeze is usually good for an upset per year. Looking at the spread, this wouldn't be much of an upset. And he hasn't really gotten one yet this year, and he's running out of chances. But darn it, and A&M really needs this. And they're getting a little bit shunned. The talk of all the 2-loss teams, they seem to be at the bottom of that pile right now. They got to keep winning. They do get Texas next week, but this is a manageable price. For the most part this season, Auburn has failed to clear the hurdle in these sorts of games. Peyton Thorne, who was benched earlier in the year, tends to make some more mistakes. Now, Mike Elko, he has made a full-blown switch to Marcel Reed, the freshman at quarterback. He's not going to fool around with Wiegman unless something really goes wrong with Reed or he gets hurt. But they have generally cleared the hurdles they needed to clear. It was nice to get a game out of the way with New Mexico State just to get them back on the ground last week, even though there wasn't a scintillating effort after the South Carolina game. But Reed gives them a better chance at higher notes to hit, and they have generally cleared the hurdles this year, and Auburn hasn't. So I'm going to lay the short price with A&M tomorrow, and that should set up a really good game next week with Texas for a spot in Atlanta the following week.
Max, we went down to the Pelicans G League game last Friday night, and so he download the SeatGeek app, and I'm getting these updates for A&M Texas tickets. Bruce, you won't be taking the grandkids to this one. Trust me. Okay, we're talking about the average seat is about $2,500, $3,000 a seat before the service charges and everything else. Paul Stone's been talking about it. Were you in Birmingham for that media day when they hit that bombshell that Texas and Oklahoma were coming to the league?
Yeah.
And
I was actually at the ACC that day, but we heard it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's right.
we were in Birmingham that day, and they've been looking forward to this game ever since. So the first one, and something on the line. Oh, I can't believe the prices of these tickets, man. It's unbelievable. So, Texas and Texas A&M, I'm worried about both of them a little bit on the look-ahead spot on this. You back in A&M, but you fade in Texas. We will see. How about off the beaten path, some of the smaller conferences? Who you looking at?
Jimmy O and Charlie, last week I gave you Air Force, one of my favorite plays of the year. I'm going to do it again. Now, they're on the road this week. It's the late game, so it'll be on TV late tomorrow night at Reno. I still can't believe they're an underdog in this game. Now, Nevada has played a couple of decent games in losing efforts this year. The SMU and Boise efforts are really good. This team is still only 3-8, though. They're 95th in rush defense. They're giving up 26 rush TDs. They were blanked at Minnesota. They got whipped at Hawaii. They're not great. And now, late season, they got to play Air Force. I know they had a week off before this game, but darn it, Air Force is back. They look like Air Force again. Last week, another 271 rushing, 41 minutes plus a possession against Oregon State. They totally shut down the Beavers. The week before, we mentioned that last week, 344 rush against Fresno, 45 minutes plus of possession. Since Troy Calhoun went to Quentin Hayes, the sophomore quarterback, I don't know what took him so long to make this move this year, but the offense is different. Busher, the quarterback into the first half of the season, was incapable of making any game-breaking plays. Hayes gives them a lot more pop there, and they look like Air Force again.
Yes.
And they'll be trying. I'll take Air Force tomorrow and get 3.5 up at Reno.
Yeah.
One other one, in Pac-12, there's only 2 teams left. I'll call this a minor game. This number is moving down a bit, Washington State and Oregon State, and I know Washington State took a brutal loss at New Mexico. I don't know if they had it was realistic for them to think they had a playoff shot, but they seem to think they did in the last week. So there could be a big letdown, but they'll still get a pretty decent bowl bid out of it. By the way, the old Pac-12 bowl tie-ins are still working this year, so Washington State could get Washington State could still get down Alamo Bowl or something like that. Oregon State has quit the other way. That the last few efforts from them, we talked about them last week in front of the Air Force game. They got nothing left right now. Absolutely nothing. Their season ended about midway through. The offense is completely off the rails right now. They don't know. Trent Bray just can't get this team motivated. Washington State should be able to go in there. I'm a little reluctant to lay points like this on the road late in the season, but I think Oregon State is such a go against right now. And Mateer is so dynamic. Washington State will bounce back. And this is mostly, though, an anti-Oregon State vote. The Cougars tomorrow.
All right.
Washington State got to be the quietest 8-2 in the country, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Now, the people were following them a little bit until they were kind of complete. They were just eliminated from the chance of getting in the top 12.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they were kind of
forgotten too.
Yeah.
Washington and Oregon State
went to Boise, and who was their other loss? Bruce, Washington State.
New Mexico last week.
Mexico
and Boise.
That was a bad one. That was really bad.
That was one that hurt.
Urlacher with a key punt return to set up the winning score, huh? So anyway, all right, Bruce, the Air Force down to 2.5. Now it's plus juice, but here at our DraftKings shop, so yeah, I'm on them as well. So no, they're a different team. Good. Teams with bad records that are playing better. Who was the other one I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
Kansas, Air Force, some of those other. And how about Liberty? I just have to ask your opinion. I know you pay attention, but Liberty against the spread 2-7 this year.
Yeah.
I mean, they were in such a weak conference, some weak schedule, but man, they're not close to what they were last year.
No, and I think Western Kentucky's probably worth a look here, although that I couldn't explain the loss to La Tech last week. And that kind of shook me. And there have been a few of these weird results in Conference USA, but you're right. Liberty has undershot expectations all year. We sort of saw it. We talked about this back in September, Jimmy, when they struggled that game at New Mexico State. They should have lost. It just isn't the same team this year. And it looked like a lot of starch was taken out of the program when they got boat raced by Oregon last year, and that sort of removed their aura of invincibility, and they have not been the same.
Brucey, 20 seconds real quick also, but teams like Iowa State, they're more comfortable now that the pressure's off. It's the same thing with maybe a little bit BYU, but are they still heavy as the crown? Did they get,
yes,
because it looked like some of the pressure was getting to them. They should have lost to Oklahoma State. Iowa State should have lost to Central Florida before they lost a couple of games. Can BYU kind of get back on track? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do hear that, but I don't know. I tell you, you might be right, Jimmy, but Arizona State, Kenny Dillingham has done a great job this year, and he's held. And Scatterboot came back last week for Arizona State's win. I think ASU gets them.
Best crowd in Tempe, and how long? Huh? The Plumber,
Jake Plummer.
The Jake Plumber.
That's the first thing I thought of.
I mean,
it's first conference game versus BYU since 1977 when they were both in the WAC.
Well,
so this is a big day.
Big day in Tempe. But the place is going to be. There's going to be a good crowd. I mean, it's going to be.
Oh yes.
But I mean, yeah, Plummer, huh? I mean, since they were this excited about winning games, that was one of the best Rose Bowls ever, too. Plummer with the score.
Yes.
And then who was the little quarterback? The little bitty quarterback from Ohio State. He had David Boston.
Yeah,
they couldn't guard him, but what was his name again?
Well, you hit me there. I got to figure that out. I'll remember it about 10 minutes from now. But I remember 20-17.
Yeah,
20-17, Ohio State. Great game. It was great.
They couldn't cover Boston on that last drive. I mean, a little bitty guy, a little bit. Brucey, happy Thanksgiving, man. We appreciate it. Hope you enjoy your oyster dressing and your shrimp stuffed militones on the Thanksgiving table. Huh?
Okay, boys, have a good weekend.
Yes,
Thank
indeed.
you.
Don't forget our friends over at Total Maintenance. Total Maintenance again. My buddy Lucas Ragusa again. Boy, doing it for a long time in the Baton Rouge and now in the New Orleans area as well. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest air conditioning company and heating companies. Since I used that heater yet, you got that little bit of smell, then you might want to get that heater safety check right now. They've got a great deal right now. Normally it's $179, just $79 for the one-time heater or AC check if you mention my name, Jimmy out. We have membership programs that cover all of the services that we offer with discounts and extended warranties, and we'll let you know when it's time. You got enough things to worry about with the hustle and bustle of the job, the kids, and everything else. So membership programs, we'll let you know when it's time to get your unit service. Great thing about the membership programs is general maintenance. Going to lower your monthly bills. That's always good. And also extend the lifetime of your unit as well. Kind of like changing the oil in your vehicle. Hey, man, nobody wants to pluck down money on a new unit. So extend the lifetime of your unit and lower monthly bills as well. In Baton Rouge, we're 480-1000. In New Orleans, area code 504-841-3300. We are Total Maintenance.
Live at Ruffino's. Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Our friends down at the Pierreport store and the Thibodeau store. Got sales going on all the way through next week on Black Friday. Power tools, hand tools, tool kits, the rolling tool carriers. Lots of great gift ideas for Dad if you're going shopping and you got some Christmas ideas. Lots of these are available on the website. Discounts from anywhere from 10% off to 50% off at ThibodeauStore.com. Also, maybe not the first place you think of when you think about Christmas decorations, but you're looking for Christmas decorations, wide variety, also available on the website at ThibodeauStore.com. Down in Thibodaux at 900 St. Patrick Highway, if you're heading down to the coast doing a little fishing during the holiday season, stop by and get all of your fishing equipment at the Thibodeau store. Huge jambalaya pots, crawfish pots, custom cypress furniture, tons of things that you might not expect to find at your ordinary hardware store. And, of course, their expert instruction when you're doing home improvement. Pierreport store just celebrated their 113th anniversary in the Thibodeau store at 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodaux. Online, it's ThibodeauStore.com.
In Louisiana, food brings families together for the holidays. But for many families, those special meals may not be possible. Louisiana is #1 in both child and senior hunger, which means many of our friends and neighbors are struggling to find meals. Your Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank is working hard every day to distribute meals to the food insecure, and we could use your help. Visit brfoodbank.org or download our mobile app to donate and provide holiday meals for families in need. Together, we're fighting hunger.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, big cheesy Lou, and those Louis' original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes. We'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
Sparked by imagination, creativity is fueled by the arts. Shell's mission is to make communities where we do business better places to live. By supporting the arts up and down the river, Shell is helping creativity thrive. From the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival to the Arts Council of Greater Baton Rouge and the LaFond Performing Arts Center in St. Charles Parish, Shell is the rhythm of Louisiana.
Hi, this is Blake Hollingsworth at Hollingsworth Richards Ford. Any families that are looking to upgrade to a bigger SUV this holiday season, right now we're taking $10,000 off MSRP on 2024 Expeditions. That's $10,000 off on 24 Expeditions, and we've got over 50 in stock. So come in and take advantage of these savings. And like always, we really just want to make the car buying experience easy for our customers. So don't wait. Come see us today on Florida Boulevard, or you can check us out online at HollingsworthRichardsFord.com.
Get Moss Max and less text during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, 4 cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
Do you feel like you get hurt at the most inconvenient times? Brock's After Hours Clinic has you covered for a break, sprain, or strain. Open 7 days a week, nights and weekends. Walk-ins welcome. Learn more. brortho.com.
Hi, this is Jake and James of Trash Rangers of Louisiana. Have a question, a problem, call us. We answer the phone. 225-363-9053.
Brandon Holly here. You want a company that has a true lifetime warranty? ReliefWindows.com, baby.
Charles Hanagriff's 5-pack of picks. Brought to you by Supreme Rice. Make sure you use Louisiana rice, grown by Louisiana farmers since 1936. Available at most local grocery stores. Supreme Rice.
And you know we're going to be cooking with some Supreme Rice next Thursday over at our house for Thanksgiving. A little rice dressing, little rice and gravy. We got some stuff coming next Thursday. All right, 2 and 3 last week. I wasn't here, a little under the weather last week. Let me see if I can do better in person than I did out of pocket. I'm going to start with Indiana. This line's all the way down to 10.5. I liked it before. I'm not wild about the fact that the line keeps going down. I thought this would be closer to 12. But Seth McLaughlin's injury, I don't think, is nothing. Their starting center goes down. This is not quite as bad as losing him on the first series, the way the Saints did with McCoy, but losing him to a non-contact injury in Tuesday's practice, man, that's pretty tough.
Yeah.
This is the second starting lineman they've lost in the last month. So they had to shuffle a deck here. Look, Indiana's good. Number 2 in total offense, number 2 in total defense. They're coming off of a bye. I hate to use Nebraska as a measuring stick, but if we do, that favors Indiana as well. I think Ohio State wins the game. I think they win the game by probably a touchdown, maybe a touchdown and a field goal, but I think that this is too many points. So I'm going to take Indiana plus now the 10.5. I'm going to go out to that game we were just referencing at Arizona State and take the Sun Devils -3 against BYU. Breaks finally caught up with BYU last week. The quick kick off the helmet that ended up costing the game. So if we're square.
Explain that play again.
Okay, so it was 4th and 14 from the 36-yard line of BYU for Kansas. Okay, this is late in the third quarter. And they called timeout. It's outside the field goal, the kicker's
right. So
range.
they lined up to go for it, but they quick kicked. Okay.
Yeah. And the coverage guy for BYU on the outside, he's covering one of the Kansas gunners,
but he
the
thinks,
wide receiver. But
he thinks he's defending pass.
Yes.
Okay.
And the ball hit him on the helmet.
And
he's not even
Kansas
looking.
recovered.
Yeah, at the 3-yard line. So and they punch it in.
I went to sleep early.
Punch it in from there, and they had a chance to recover it at the 10. It squirts out and it goes down to 3, and that's where Kansas recovered it.
Yeah.
So
for one of the final score was
17-13.
So one of 2 touchdowns was set up on it was a 3-yard drive.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean BYU.
That was the last score of the game.
BYU had that was the 13.
That was
13-10 at that time.
Yeah, last score of the game. So
they outrushed them, they outpassed them, they out first down, but lost.
And that's the one. So we're now BYU's caught their fair share of breaks this season. So if we're square, let's
say that. I mean, the minus the Oklahoma State game, Utah guess Utah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
those two.
So
Okay.
the holding call.
They put it on some teams. They put it on Central Florida. They put it on Baylor.
I like BYU. I think they're a
Yeah.
good team. I just think Arizona State's better. They're undefeated at home. One of their 2 losses on the road was without their starting quarterback. It was an early morning start at Cincinnati. The BYU run defense is just so. They're kind of in the middle of the Big 12. Scatterbo's a dude.
He's a dude.
I like him, man.
Yes.
You watch him play. He's fun to watch play. I think the attitude after the first loss is maybe the pressure's on BYU. Maybe I'm reading this wrong, but they had a game to play with last week. They played hard. They just caught that one play. I think they just catch Arizona State with a little momentum. They're playing well. I'm going to take the home team minus the 3 points.
Will be a lot of juice in that stadium.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to take Colorado minus 2.5 against Kansas. Kansas not sneaking up on anybody anymore. Not after they pretty much ruined the season for Iowa State and BYU in back-to-back weeks. And, we talk about pressure situations and teams that haven't been in pressure situations before. This is the most pressure on Colorado. It's right there for them now. They get this one next week at home against Oklahoma State. I think they win that game. This is essentially to go to Big 12 championship game. But I think Colorado loves the stage. That part of that's the coach, part of that's the quarterback. They haven't failed to cover a game since September the 7th. I know, Jimmy, look, at some point, every streak comes to an end, but I'm going to go with Colorado. I think they're the better team here. I think they're built for a game like this with the big stage. So I'm going to take the Buffaloes minus 2.5. Going to take Duke plus. I believe we're getting 3 here against Virginia Tech. Duke is at home. Maybe the last stretch for Brent Pry at Virginia Tech. There's rumors up there. And Duke's solid. They probably should have beat SMU. Their other losses are at Miami and Georgia Tech. I think they're a hard out. I think they're an honest team. So give me the home team and the points here with Duke. Virginia Tech fading just a little bit here. In my last game, I'm going to take UCLA. Last I saw, this was 5.
4.5.
4.5. Okay. At the Rose Bowl. Points in a rivalry game. First off, I'll take that. But USC, when they made the change at quarterback, rushed for 185 yards against Nebraska. UCLA's rush defense is 7th in the country, one of the more surprising stats when I looked it up. They have been able to defend the run, so they put all of the pressure on the UNLV transfer. I'll take UCLA, the home team, and the points in the rivalry game with the good rush defense against USC.
I thought this game, that line was going to be 3, right under maybe 2.5, but USC did cover. They score with up 21-20, laying 7 to make it 28-20 to barely cover against Nebraska with just under 3 minutes to go. UCLA went to Seattle. Washington's undefeated, minus Washington State against the spread. Both USC and UCLA lost and failed to cover in Seattle against the Huskies. I like UCLA at home. And, man, is there a team that's, I know it's Pasadena from maybe a 20, 30-minute ride from campus, but isn't that better than Piscataway, New Jersey, Baton Rouge, Happy Valley?
You have to check your luggage.
Hawaii. I mean, UCLA got a lot of travelers.
They do lead the league in frequent flyer miles, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nobody's traveled like UCLA this year. So maybe a little extra home field advantage and maybe a little different approach on the budget of the hire, huh? Lincoln Riley and all that they gave him and Deshaun Foster. Yeah.
And here we are with exactly the same record. Is that right? They're both 5-5?
5-5 and 6 and
4 and 6.
4 and
UCLA
6.
4 and 6.
Yeah. Okay, Duke. Who's Duke got again, Charlie?
Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech. Disappointing season. It started in Nashville against Vanderbilt. Just it's a hard team for me to kind of figure. Duke plus the 3 at home. Colorado. That's going to be interesting. Kansas is playing better, so that's going to be a very interesting game. BYU, with the age of that team, can they handle a loss like that a little bit better? I don't know. The only thing I like about Arizona State here, like Arizona State, remember with Cam Ryan in the Friday night game against Utah? BYU's a lot better than Utah. I know they struggled in Salt Lake City, but I'm having a hard time getting both teams. I like kind of the way that Arizona State jumped on Kansas State early, hung on to win late, but Arizona State and Indiana is just going down and down. They're betting. So it was 13.5 a day and a half ago. It's now 10.5. What, Max?
A couple other notes. Lincoln Riley 2-11 at USC as a road favorite. So it's been a very rough spot for him, laying 4.5 this week.
How much of a road game is this?
30 minutes.
Yeah,
You just said it yourself.
That's fair.
No, that's UCLA. Their drive.
It's
no USC from the south side. No, that's going to be a little
from USC to UCLA is about
an hour.
An hour.
Oh,
okay.
no.
Okay.
Another point to make.
Charlie, half an hour. Go ahead.
Virginia Tech quarterback Kyron Jones questionable. He has not practiced this week, so that's another
big guy
thing for Duke. Yeah, the quarterback.
Okay, all right.
Max coming in, making my argument for me. Thank you, Max. It's nice to have you today.
Maeva is not. They made
Big Russian
Miller Moss,
attack,
but
big Russian attack last week really kind of spurred them against.
yes. When UCLA's defense can hold that running back in check, we will see. Hey, don't forget our friends over at Total Diamond Performance. Total Diamond Performance. My buddy Matt Mastretta, man, not far away from tournament ball. They'll start around the first of the year or maybe in December, but. Man, how about their high school fall baseball program? So we got the other one that is starting right now, next week, November 25th through December 20th. So next week starts our session 3. It's 4-week session offering a blend of skill acquisition training, throwing, hitting, defense, paired with strength and agility training. Players will be placed in small groups to optimize quality of instruction and maximize repetitions. It's a great chance to get your tournament player a little bit jump on the rest of the competition and ultimately allow them to enjoy their season with a little bit more success. So contact Nick Schneider at nick@tdpbaseball.com, nick@tdpbaseball.com. Total Diamond Performance 2024 High School Fall Baseball Program.
Jimmy's Picks coming back when we return here at Ruffino's Log of the Week Friday, presented by Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
What's up, Phil? What's happening, man?
Live at lunch.
It's always great to have a winning edge. And when you're in a professional grade GMC, you can tackle every day like a champ when you take the field in the GMC Yukon Denali Ultimate. Break from the huddle of ordinary with 15-inch diagonal head-up display. Great for long scoring drives. And whether at home or away, travel in 16-way power front seats with massage features in your GMC Yukon. Test drive a game-winning Yukon today at your Bayou GMC dealer.
Your Fighting Tigers of LSU return home to host the Vanderbilt Commodores Saturday. It all gets started with Eagle 98.1 Game Day with Charles Hanagriff and Matt Musso at 2 p.m. live from Rouse's on Burbank. And wraps up with Eagle 98.1 Game Day postgame 90 minutes after the end of the game. Presented by Super Chevy, your local Super Chevy dealers. And you can hear it on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and your flagship home for the Tigers. Eagle 98.1.
People ask me all the time, where's a good place to go eat? My lock that never misses, Louisiana Lanyap. I've never had anybody disappointed. The snapper and papillote and the cocodrie are staples. Some of my favorites start off with the marinated crab claws or the oysters lanyap. For an entree, seafood stuffed bell peppers. Got a little kick to them now, so watch out. And blueberry bread pudding for dessert. Nobody has collected more 225 Best of Awards than Louisiana Lanyap. 9990 Perkins Road near Bluebonnet, where you always get a little something extra.
Previous hailstorms have caused hidden damage to countless Baton Rouge homes. Rice and Roofing spots the damage, makes the claim, and replaces your roof. You pay only your insurance deductible. Never anything more. Call Rice and Roofing today and schedule your free inspection. 330-3513. RiceandRoofing.com.
Bow and waterfowl season is open, and Southern Outfitters is your one-stop shop. Fully stocked with decoys, full-service bow repair, and sales. Tree stands, hang-ons, and hunting apparel for the entire family. Visit Southern Outfitters in Zachary and at SouthernOutfittersLA.com.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
This is Will Campbell with the Tigers. Louisiana National Bank is committing to making every interaction with its customers an experience that's more exceptional than any you've ever encountered. If you're looking for a teammate to help you achieve your financial dreams, come see one of the Louisiana National Bank's uncommon bankers. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games. Just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
Baton Rouge, it's time to feel the heat. The Baton Rouge Zydeco are back for the 2024-25 season, so secure your seat and let's make some noise. Individual tickets for the 2024-25 season are on sale now, starting at just $10. Grab your ticket to experience the thrill, the hits, and the roar of the crowd as the Baton Rouge Zydeco fight their way to the Commissioner's Cup.
Struggling to lose weight? Feeling overwhelmed by diets and exercise plans that just don't work? There's a better way. Unique Physique offers weight loss injectable medications. Semaglutide, now only $195 a month, and tirzepatide is only $325 a month. The lowest prices in town. No contracts, no gimmicks, just real results without the hassle. Visit uniquephysique.com or call today to schedule a consultation and unlock your weight loss potential. Unique Physique, your weight loss solution.
Jimmy Ott's 5-pack of picks, brought to you by Supreme Rice. Make sure you use Louisiana rice, grown by Louisiana farmers since 1936. Available at most local grocery stores. Supreme Rice.
Holiday season too. Try the parboil rice again. You're trying to get that restaurant quality when you boil your rice at home, steam your rice at home. Hey, make sure you get the parboil rice. It's the latest menu, latest item that they have out in the shelves or your Baton Rouge area grocery stores. 3-2 last week, 30-29-1. One game over 500 for the season. All right, teams that have made a switch that are playing better, no question. Air Force, myself, Bruce Marshall on the same page here. Not crazy about the line going from 3 to 2.5. 2.5 plus a little juice right now. Our friends at the Queen Casino, where we'll be this weekend for Football Sunday. Again, Quentin, help me out, Max. Quentin Harris, what's his name? I mean, he's a new quarterback, and man, they're running it like throwing the ball maybe 6 times a game. I mean, run. It's all like 4 or 5 yard plays. I mean, really controlling the clock. Quentin Hayes, the new guy for the Falcons, plus the 2.5. Kansas State, man, fell behind, got bum rushed, blindsided by Arizona State early. Turnover, come on, boom, they're down 21-0 at half in the Little Apple. Get back to track. Got a great coach. They'll bounce back against an inferior opponent here. Kansas State -9. Same thing with Iowa State. Heavy is the crown. Charlie Hunt, just like the new Linkin Park song says. Yes, was a little bit too much for him, but they're kind of covered easily. Won by 17 last week. Like a -7 again against Utah, who has certainly had a couple of emotional weeks against BYU, the close loss. And then they were competitive for a while. Had the ball covering in plus territory with just 6 minutes to go. But Iowa State, much better team here against Utah that's just limping to the finish line. Is this it for Whittingham in Salt Lake City? Louisville, Bruce and I talked about it. Went out of your way to lose that game. Now Pitt, Holstein, probably not going to go in this one. They had a big effort last week against Clemson. They were right there, lost the lead. Klubnik with a 50-yard touchdown run to in it in the last minutes of the game. So how will they rebound here? Louisville's back home where they're more favorable. Louisville minus the 7.5. And in Minnesota, row the boat, baby. Keep this one close against Penn State. Penn State's best win, USC, Illinois. Minnesota's beat those teams. Yep. So they went 1-4 in a row before they got tripped up on the road against Rutgers. Give me one of these teams that are in the playoff right now, but on the road against a capable opponent. Gophers plus the 12. So Air Force, Kansas State, Iowa State, Louisville, and Minnesota. Paul Stone has been telling us about this Texas A&M game. And that's next week. Exactly. Look ahead spot. Here's Paul Stone talking about one of those games involving the look ahead spot for A&M at Texas. Texas hosting Kentucky.
You're listening to Sports Bettor's Paradise on the Bet Rivers Network.
I tell you, here in my home state of Texas, Jimmy, ever since it was announced just over 3 years ago that Texas and Oklahoma would be going to the SEC, here in the state of Texas, everybody's been talking about the game. and the game is Texas and Texas A&M renewing their rivalry for the first time since 2011. But that game's next week. And first things first, the Longhorns have to face pesky Kentucky in Austin this Saturday, as you mentioned, as almost 3-touchdown favorites. And although Kentucky 1-6 in the 15th slot in the 16-team SEC, they have had their moments, and they have been at their best against the better teams on their schedule. They've played 3 top 7 teams that were ranked in the top 7 at the time of the game, and they've covered against all 3. Texas will be the 4th. In fact, they played in week 3. As we know, they were 22.5-point home underdogs to Georgia, then ranked number 1. Lost that game by a single point, 13-12, after leading at halftime. And then 2 weeks later, you mentioned when they traveled to Oxford, Mississippi to play Ole Miss, then ranked number 6. They were getting 15 in that game, and of course, won outright 20-17. And then almost 3 weeks ago, Kentucky led 7th-ranked Tennessee at the half. Ultimately lost that game 28-18. They were 17.5-point underdogs on the road. So 3-0 against the spread is Kentucky against 3 top 7 teams that they face so far. So I'm not saying Texas is overlooking Kentucky, that they're treating them as an afterthought, but these young men are human beings, and it's part of the human condition to look ahead, to look forward, to think of what is possible and what might be. I think Texas has one eye towards College Station. Their offense hadn't been off the charts the last few weeks. I like Kentucky plus 20.5 over Texas.
All right, so there's Paul Stone with his picks. He likes Kentucky plus a 20. Rotating a couple of quarterbacks. Bruce Marshall likes his pick as well. Kentucky, this is it. There's their last conference game. They'll play their rivalry game against Louisville next week. But 1-7. 1-7. They're 1-6 and 20-point dogs for 1-7 with a win against a team that's in the playoff right now in Ole Miss on the road.
I'm surprised we're getting this retirement talk out of Lexington with Stoops. This was a guy that a year ago was about to take the Texas A&M job, and he wasn't planning on retiring. So if he's retiring, it almost feels like he's being pushed out, and you wonder how many ruffled feathers there was over him. I mean, he was on the doorstep of taking that job, and then the whole thing.
I think he's got a lot of money owed to him if they're pushing him out.
No, no question, and I don't know what it is. But
Charlie, he is a kind of a prickly pear. Okay,
when you got one foot, you got one foot out the door, and then you come back and go, no, I was just joking. It's hard to walk that back.
Well, Kentucky's not. I mean, you're not leaving for a comparable program. He's done some good things at Kentucky.
You're not,
but there is a limit there. There is a ceiling, and he has a ceiling as a coach. I think this is, if you want to talk about one of the guys at the top of the list is tired of playing this transfer portal game, recruiting 365 days a year, he'd be near the top of my list.
You're right about the ceiling, and you're right about the program he'd be leaving for, but don't tell Kentucky that. All they see is our guy was ready to leave us, and then they pull the rug out from under him, and now we're stuck with him.
And they are spending more on their facilities or their football budget than they ever have. Now they got the SEC money to justify it,
right.
But I don't know. I get but he's been there a long time. He's been there a long time.
12 years. Yeah,
that's a long time in this league, and so knowing his personality, I got to believe he's pissed somebody off in that administration at some point. And now you go 1-7. Now's the time maybe that some of those people been waiting to kind of. Yeah, it's a long time.
I think that thing left a bad taste in a lot of Kentucky people's mouths.
It didn't help, but I think 12 years and 1-7.
He'd be 7-1. They could have got over it.
No, we wouldn't be talking about it. Right. But I'm not. I don't know if he's ready to leave all that money just yet. So
maybe some kind of settlement.
Don't forget, we were over at Jolie Pearl yesterday. Hey, you staying downtown for the LSU Vandy game this weekend, the Oklahoma game next weekend, or some friends staying there? Oh, man, Jolie Pearl is just within walking distance of all the major hotels downtown. So, hey, holiday parties, it's now the time is to reserve your spot for the holiday parties. And starting next Friday is going to be, There are Christmas decorations, and then there's what they do with the pop-up over at Jolie Pearl. A lot of people go downtown just for a drink and a bite to eat, maybe some oysters. Love those Beausoleil oysters downtown as well. The petite oysters, full of flavor. Floating oysters, not from the dirt, Charlie. The clean, clean, clean. Love that stuff over at Jolie Pearl. So holiday parties and Christmas pop-up. Go check it out. A lot of people go for photo ops and just kind of get in the spirit of the holiday season. Jolie Pearl and Town Square Pizza downtown. You got hockey again tonight. Had it last night. Make that your meeting place. Max's picks when we come back. He had a winning week last week, 3-2. And we'll return with his picks to close things out. Football Sunday is in town this weekend and next weekend for the holidays at the Queen Casino at the DraftKings Sportsbook, 10 a.m. to noon this Sunday and next Sunday at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Lock of the Week Friday presented by Tex Morris and Edward Jones Investments from Ruffino's and 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Electric Man of Baton Rouge is here to help with 24/7 residential and commercial electrical services. With years of experience, Electric Man aims to deliver fast and dedicated electrical services without compromising safety, quality, and integrity. Licensed and insured professionals to do the job for you.
Ready. Okay. This is Charles Hanagriff. Join us for the Monday edition of Live at Lunch at 10 a.m. from Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs. We'll have the final Brian Kelly press conference of the regular season and recap the weekend. Big Mike's, 10 a.m. Monday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All right, all good.
Webb Park and 2 9-hole courses, City Park and the newly renovated J.S. Clark. Breck's courses are designed to challenge every level of golfer from beginner to pro. So come and get into the swing of things. Book your tee time online or find a course near you at golf.breck.org. That's golf.breck.org.
With over 40 years in business representing the same manufacturer, Gulf Coast Office Products is committed to bringing 7 office equipment solutions to the Louisiana market. With flexible leasing programs available, Gulf Coast can accommodate your budget and customize invoicing requirements to help streamline your business. As official partners of LSU and ULL Athletics, 7 and Gulf Coast with over 100 employees care about our community and their customers. You're just one phone call away, 225-756-2644 for a free analysis. Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is Charles Hanagriff for Home Bank. If you're tired of the impersonal, one-size-fits-all style of banking, you deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for your businesses and families because they go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business and good for life. Stop by any South Louisiana, Houston, or Natchez area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank. Member FDIC.
If you're a small business owner, you've probably noticed how the big banks like to force you into one-size-fits-all financial service products. At Neighbors Federal Credit Union, we've created a suite of flexible commercial checking accounts designed to fit the specific needs of your local business. And with 9 full-service locations throughout Greater Baton Rouge, we're always just around the corner. We're a local small business looking out for other local small businesses. Learn more about Neighbors commercial checking accounts by visiting neighborsfcu.org. Neighbors Federal Credit Union. We're here for you. Insured by NCUA.
Step inside a glowing wonderland and discover a new festive tradition at Bird Museum and Gardens. From November 29th to December 29th, experience Louisiana Lights, an enchanting holiday display in historic Windrush Gardens. Stroll through illuminated gardens and enchanted forts. Marvel at dazzling displays under majestic oaks. Don't miss this magical holiday experience in Baton Rouge. Visit discoverburton.com for tickets and details.
Looking for some time away but don't want to go too far? The Cook Hotel at LSU is just what you've been searching for. Book your getaway today and enjoy a peaceful escape overlooking the University Lake in any of their luxurious guest rooms or suites. Their newly renovated bar is back open for service, and they're located near some of the best restaurants in town. Visit thecookhotel.com or call 225-383-2665 to book your stay today.
Buying or selling a home doesn't have to be complicated. I'm Antonio Cousin with Service First Real Estate. We're here to guide you every step of the way. Visit 225re.com. Service First Real Estate, the team that values relationships over transactions.
Hi, this is Jake and James of Trash Rangers of Louisiana. If you switch your residential or commercial trash pickup to us, we promise to never sell your trash to the paparazzi. Seriously,
Looking for a tax deduction? Think about donating your car, boat, or RV to St. Vincent de Paul. Visit svdpbr.org.
It's Lock of the Week Friday, presented by Tex Morris of Edward Jones Investments. Now, back to Live at Lunch from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All right, Max, 5 college picks and then some good words about LSU basketball. It starts here in about 40 minutes.
Yeah, so I hate this week, but I managed to come up with 5 picks. Going to start off with tonight's game. San Jose State catches 7.5 against UNLV. Both these teams have failed to cover in 5 of their last 6 games, but San Jose State has been pretty good in this series, winning 8 of the last 10 games. UNLV, the one strength of their defense is run defense. Well, bad news is San Jose State just doesn't run the ball. They're second to last in the FBS in rush attempts, so they're not going to try to really go after UNLV's strongest unit defensively. So I think San Jose State at home covers a 7.5. You already heard from Paul. Kentucky plus 20 at Texas. This is a clear look ahead spot for Texas. Kentucky on the road at Tennessee, played them close. On the road, beat Ole Miss. Maybe they have another one in them on the road at Texas. Northwestern catching 10.5 against Michigan. Look ahead spot for Michigan. They've got Ohio State, the big one, next week. And they've averaged 20 points a game. This is a low total. They're laying 10.5. That's too many, and a team that just doesn't score the ball, in my opinion. Nebraska -1 against Wisconsin. They're at home. Nebraska's feeling good about themselves, maybe even better than LSU as a fan base right now. It's been a while since they could say that, but they're trying to get bowl eligible for the first time in a long time. This is their opportunity. I think they're about the same team as Wisconsin, but at home, they'll be energized. Only laying 1. I'll take Nebraska. And finally, my lock of the week, UConn plus 10.5 at Syracuse. UConn, their strength is running the ball. Syracuse, not very good at running the ball or run defense at all. So I think they're going to be able to move the ball a little bit. And their secondary is good enough to stop Kyle McCord. So this is way too many points, in my opinion. UConn's been a formidable team this season, and they've won their last 3 games. I think they go into the Carrier Dome or the old Carrier Dome and play them competitively.
In 10 seconds, tell me why Nebraska's feeling good about themselves after losing 4 games in a row.
They've got a coach.
Okay.
Football Sunday live here at the Queen Casino, the DraftKings Sportsbook, 10 a.m. to noon. We'll be over there all weekend as well, this weekend and next weekend. Lock of the week, Charlie.
Monday, we're at Big Mike's at 10 a.m. Include the Brian Kelly press conference from all of us here at Ruffino's. Have a great weekend. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.